Okay, right, so now we're live. Yeah, so welcome friends and family. Yeah, I was just saying to people that this is a warm up, really, like a just rehearsal, because I'm still trying to finish off some last minute bits, and today's just going to be like a sort of overview introduction to the API, and then over the coming weeks we'll have more features I can show, because we're just finishing off the last parts, because so we really want some open source developers to jump in and help, especially with the providers, because to really show off the power of OASIS, you need more providers plugged into it. And it's just been me and Farha, my tech lead, and he's kind of part-time working on this, and it needs yeah, a lot more people to help, because this is such a big, massive project, and it's had the least amount of resources that most blockchain projects get. And but at least hope from this we can start applying for grants and things. That's the plan, to all the different things we're integrating. So we've got Ethereum, EOS, Solana, Holochain, Threefold, MongoDB, Neo4j, SQLite. That's what's all integrated so far. Oh, IPFS as well. But these providers need configuring. So in the demo today, I'm just going to show it on Mongo, just so you can see the Avatar API. But I'm going to show you the engine, so you can see how it works, how the auto-replication, auto-failover, and auto-load balancing works. But we're actually going to dive into that in the next weeks, like to show you how it actually works, because it's too much to show you all. It'll take me hours and hours and hours and hours, and then you'll probably fall asleep, and I'll be asleep as well by then. So today is just an overview. And just showing the basic avatar, the top level of the avatar. And then we go deeper on the avatar next week, because that's when we go more into the engine and how it auto-replicates your avatar across the providers and auto-failover. So just a quick overview of what that is, basically. So if any, OASIS is like a network of networks. It's like an abstraction layer over everything. So basically, if one node goes down in your area, so on Ethereum, it'll jump to another node in your area. So on EOS or something, or Solana. So it always find the fastest nodes. It's not dependent on the one network. So if a whole network gets taken out for some reason, the OASIS will never have any downtime. It will automatically switch to the next one, because the auto replication as well. It's a bit like a gossip protocol, similar to Holochain. And it is similar to like Holochain and blockchain in a way. I didn't design it, I didn't copy that, it's just what I was channeling. I kind of downloaded this, but how it auto-replicates, like cells in your body, how they auto-replicate, like the DNA, it reproduces itself. It does that in the back end. So where any changes you make, like on your avatar or a data object, which you call a holon, will get auto-replicated in the back end. And that's how the auto failover and load balance works. So if one node goes down, or it finds the fastest one in the area, so it's always the fastest it possibly can be, because it's not dependent on the speed of one network. So if one network's got less traffic in your area that day, it will use that network, and then another day it might be another network, or it'll use a mixture. So it doesn't see like all the nodes. It's like a node of every single network combined in like a big web, if you can imagine that. So it's not just fixed to one thing. So it's like a higher layer. That's why it's called Web 4, because it's a layer above Web 3 and integrates Web 2 and 3 together. It's a true Web 4, and Web 5 is what comes after that. And that's the what we'll do demo later on. That's the Star Omniverse, which is what thing that integrates all the metaverses together. So have you seen a diagram of the torus? It's like a torus basically. So the Web 4 kind of integrates all the data, aggregates all the world's data through one central API, the OASIS API, and then it funnels that into Web 5, which is the Star Omniverse, and represents that data in like a cyberspace ontology, like planets, stars, moons, galaxies, universes, multiverses, superverses. I channeled all this, so it's way more what NASA led you to believe. It's way beyond multiverse and metaverse. It's way beyond that. It's like it's galactic information I channeled for that. And basically, it's the Earth node of the galactic network. So basically, OASIS API job is to bring all the world's data together, so we can sense make it, aggregate it, and make sense of it, moving all the silos. And then we connect that That's Web 4, and then we connect that through Web 5 into the rest of the cosmos, into the rest of the galactic networks. And then we connect to other systems out there. And I'm sorry if you think we're alone, then you've really got to catch up, because we're not alone in the universe, and there's many races who want to talk to us. So I'm just coming out and saying it. I'm not hiding anymore. It's time the world knows the truth. So this is the mission: is to prepare the Earth for contact, and this is to bring all the data together to make a better world. And then we're going to connect that data interface with other races and galaxies. So that's the big whole mission. That's what Web 5 is. What comes after. So I guess I'll jump in then and start showing it. Hope that makes sense, and more people joining. And bear in mind, I'm kind of a bit autistic, and I haven't done any talking, and I haven't had any sleep. So I was up to 1 in the morning with a power cut last night, just trying to get ready for this demo. So I guess I'll share my screen. Share screen. I think it's okay. Can you see that? Can you see my screen? I hope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so basically the first thing I'll just show quickly is let's see. Yeah, so can you see that web page? So Swagger basically at the top there. So basically I just released this morning version 2.2.2. So it kind of seems quite a good omen. I didn't plan it to be like this, but it just happened to be the version I got to, and it's a master builder year 2.2.2, and I'm demoing 2.2.2 on Solstice. So that's quite a good sign. I think I'm on the right track. Sometimes I always feel I'm late and behind schedule, but people say I'm actually ahead of schedule. But this still gets taken so long. But I guess this is a big project, so it's going to take a while. So like I said, this is the providers it already implements. So you got, these examples, just what I've done is like, if you're in IT, you'll know there's 3 main types of databases, like a relational database. There's an example of a relational database, SQLite, and there's a document object NoSQL database, and one of the most popular ones, very fast database, storing data. And then you've got a graph database example, and Neo4j is one of the top graph databases. So that's why I have them there. Holochain, we have support for that, but that's been an ongoing challenge for me, because that was supported 2 years ago, and then they changed, I think, with a new version called RSM. If you're into Holochain, you know about that. And then they broke it because they changed the way it uses WebSockets to communicate, and they changed it to use this message pack like encoding, encryption, and that kind of broke my my provider. And they've been trying to help me troubleshoot that for the last 1.5 years. And we're nearly there, but it's just like one thing off another. So hopefully that will be working very soon too. That's another thing I wanted it working before today. But I think it's better just to show something today rather than just waiting forever. Solana, you probably know, everyone knows Solana, Ethereum, EOS, the three top popular blockchains. There's Telos, which is built on top of EOS, and then Seeds is built on top of Telos. So these 3 are kind of together. But if you heard of Seeds, basically it's like a new kind of currency, regeneration currency that was added like 1.5 years ago. And Seeds, I think Mohan or no, he just joined. They don't even have a REST API yet. Their integrations are limited just to smart contracts for EOS and for WordPress. And I kept trying to tell to them, like, you need a REST API. What this is a REST API, if you IT, you know, is the most compatible thing out there, because it can be plugged into everything: games, apps, websites, services. It's just anything with an internet connection. It's a HTTP connection. Can use a REST service, and that's what this OASIS API is. The first version is. Then we're going to have a GraphQL and open gRPC version as well coming up next few months, hopefully. So this really gives them that integration, and then IPFS as well. So yeah, so these are all built and just the configuring. So I'm going to be demoing how the auto failover and auto load balance and auto replication works with these in the next coming weeks. I think one of the sessions on the schedule I had was the provider API. That's when I'm going to be talking more about this. So just giving a quick overview today because it will take hours and hours to go through it all. And we're going to build up from there. And basically, the demo we use a thing called Postman, and that's a way of like making calls to the API, which I'll show you in a minute. And we've got like a dev staging and live environment. Making download this JSON file, which is then give you the API, which is this. It'll give you this. So you have avatar, and we're going to demo this soon. This is a new thing, keys, which is part of the new wallet API, key API. Another thing that my team been waiting for months. So here it is. First time I showed it to anyone. We're going for this in more detail later on, but it's where you can basically link any wallet on any blockchain to your avatar. So you single sign on the avatar. Instead of having all these logins and wallets, you have one OASIS wallet that aggregates all your wallets together. And then this is how you link your wallets to it. So, and you can also generate new wallets for it as well, for any provider. So you can link an existing wallet, or you can create a new wallet. And you have multiple wallets per provider, per avatar. That's basically how it works. And it can also replicates your private keys, local storage providers. You have multiple local storage providers and multiple devices, so you never lose your keys again. So like it auto backs up, a bit like a cloud, but like an offline cloud. So you can use like Bluetooth or LAN or wireless, and it will just auto replicate your keys, private keys, only your private keys on your local storage devices on your phone, laptop, whatever, PC. People keep losing their keys, so this is a way it kind of solves that problem. But and then the rest of the wallets is obviously backed up on the public providers, like you just saw the list. So that's just, we're going more detail on this later on, but that's just an overview of, there's so many, like, I think world first. I think I've been doing this for years. I kind of had all this channel so long ago, but it's taken a long time to build it. But I keep thinking I'm running behind schedule and people catching up, but I think I'm still kind of pretty ahead. But, and then the Karma is the Karma API plugs in, is part of the avatar. So you get Karma for good deeds, like picking up litter in nature or anywhere in the world, cleaning up beaches, planting trees in rainforests, volunteering for charity, donating money to a good cause or charity, helping people, helping people on social media, maybe eating healthy, like going to a meditation yoga class, anything that's doing good for you or the world. You earn karma, and then your avatar levels up. That's like your XP in the game, because our world and the Oasis is the game of life. It's a simulation of all it is, and our world is the first planet, basically, of the Oasis or Omniverse. And that's how the avatar thing. The avatar is a key part. The avatar is your currency, and avatar can, and the karma can be redeemed for like real world goods and services, like a free smoothie or a yoga class or even a yoga retreat, say, just an example. And that's why we're partnering with Tulum Coin and people in Tulum here who are like helping to ground it. They're doing similar things. It's about, we need to do an example somewhere. So we're kind of starting in Mexico, and then that's how you can redeem the karma. You can earn karma for doing real things in where we are, and then we redeem it. So basically I built an engine. It's an engine in the game, and what it needs is people to build like use cases and build on it, build UIs, build the toolkits, and then partner and integrate bits. And now we're ready for that. That's why I'm doing this demo, I think, to really start to get more partners and people out there using it and integrating. And the data is just basically holons. Holons is like a data object. It's basically something that can be part of a whole and part on its own as well. Basically your cells and your body is like organs, and cells make up organs, and organs make up your body. They're like examples of holons. Everything's fractal, the holons inside holons. I think Brett's on this call here, know what holons are, and Chris and other people who I work with like use holons. And holons is like the universal data packet. This is how we talk to the galactics, by the way, the fractal holonic technology. That's kind of the base kind of data model that all galactics use. And then providers, I've just been talking about the providers. This is just an API to do register providers and you can get hold of what storage, network, or renderer providers. This is what comes later on. Mostly, I built all the back end to the Omniverse. You've seen Ready Player One. This is the OASIS back end, basically, to that. And most of it is built now, which is why I'm doing a demo. But we need to build a UI. That's why we're doing this demo, because we need funding, because to build a UI is massive amounts of funding. And we're building the IRL geolocation AR game for a few years, but we had very, very little funding. So that's about halfway complete. And then we need the One World MMO RPG game, and that's going to be an Unreal 5 engine. And that's the real deal. That's the thing you see in the OASIS. That's the first UI of the real OASIS. And that's the first part of the OASIS Omniverse. And you have build other planets and things. But first of all, we've got to sort out our own planet. We can't go to other planets until we've worked out our own challenges here, and we get along with ourselves before we try and get along with other races. And then you can get hold of the providers that are auto-replicating, and which ones have auto-failover, etc., etc. I'm going to go into more details. I'm just glossing over this, but you can get an idea, and you can look at this offline, or online, you know, on after the call, and then you can activate different providers and basically do anything. This is what I built at OASIS. It's very generic, and it's very powerful, and it can basically, you can make it do anything you want to. It's a generic engine that you can do anything you want with it. That's what the design of it was, and this is why it's taken so long to build, because it's not one simple little segment or use case people have, or target audience. Its scope is so massive, it's like infinite. It's basically to do everything and anything, and connect everything to everything, and be used to do anything. So you can imagine trying to build that. It's like, how do you build something like that? Well, this is why people keep saying what I'm building is that most people don't even bother trying to do, because it's so ridiculous. And I kind of understand now why they don't take it on, because it's been quite a journey to get this far. But it's what I came here to do. So here's the engine, and it can do anything. And I'll show you more of that later. And then you can search, you can search the races, maps, it's part of the geolocation stuff, the seeds APIs. So you pay with seeds and rewarded with seeds, donate with seeds, and it's linked to your avatar. So the seeds and the avatar and karma are all linked together. So when you use seeds, you get karma as well. So if people are into seeds, you understand more about that. This needs updating, because this is to the old seeds, but I know they changed it. They kind of, as like holochain, everything's moving the goalposts. I integrate stuff, get it working, and then they all change and upgrade, and I have to break my stuff and I have to fix it all. But this is why I need more resources, because it's as you see, there's a lot to do. A lot's been done, but there's still so much more to do. And these are just some examples of some of the different providers. And if we go on here, this is Swagger as well. This is auto-generated from the documentation. So I'm going to start going through this now. This is the avatar API I want to show you today. Just how you create an avatar, how you log in and authenticate. And here you can see examples like every single thing you can do to update an avatar detail. Basically, you have an avatar, and you have avatar detail, and the avatar detail holds more details. The avatar is just a basic lightweight authentication object. You know, just your username, password, your login token. This thing called JWT token if you're into techie. And when you log in, you get your JWT token, which is a JSON web token. And then you pass that token around in the header of future API calls, and that's how you get authenticated. That's just a standard security thing, like a Web 2 kind of thing. Yeah, so basically I'll show you how that works in a second. But every call, you can optionally tag on provider type, because by default the OASIS handles the providers for you, and it automatically will load balance across the providers, like I said earlier on. But if you want to manually just talk to one provider for that call, you can pass in the provider type there, and that'll be one of these you pass in, and there'll be future ones as well. And then set globally is basically, do you want to just do this, override it just for this one call, or do you want to do it for all future calls? Every future API call you make will then use that provider only. So it's just like a way of overriding that. And the stuff I've been working on the last few days makes it even more advanced. So that's what I'm going to talk about probably next week, because it's a lot to take in one go. Right, so more people still joining. It's good. I'm always late for everything too, but it's recorded so people can catch up. Yeah, so just talk through this. Basically, yeah, and the avatar detail has more details in the avatar, and that's like the gamified part. You know, your karma, your human design, your gene keys, your chakra, your auras, your mana, your health, your stamina. You know, standard RPG stuff. Your strength, dexterity. I'll show you what that looks like later on. The avatar detail, but there's loads in there. I think I list it somewhere. I'll just check in a minute. And then you got standard stuff like delete. And every single call you can do by username, email, or your ID, just so you know. So you have your username, which is defaults to your email address, but you can change it later on to anything you want. And get UMA JSON. That's just like getting the 3D object, your 3D avatar. We're using a thing called UMA avatar in Unity. People in Unity will know what that is. And you logged in avatar. Register, verify email. It's when you sign up, you register your email address. Oh yeah, this is a preview of this is what I can talk about later on. So basically, I've implemented a preview just on authenticate. So originally you can override a provider, and I said set globally, but now the new enhancements I'm making in the last few days, you can override whether it auto-replicates or has auto-failover and auto-load balance enabled, and you can pass in your own custom list of providers to do it over. So that's really powerful, because then you can like customize like per avatar, per API call. You can customize exactly how the OASIS will work. So that engine, that powerful engine, you can completely fine tune it and tweak it to each use case. So then you can say like, oh wait, maybe for authenticate, I want to just only do it over like Holochain and Mongo. But when I update my avatar detail, I want that to do that over Ethereum, EOS, Solana. You know, that's the kind of example kind of thing. You can choose what providers you want per action you're taking, per API call. Because at the minute it's a global thing per O node, OASIS node, and this is the first O node.
The screen's not changing for us. It's we're still on EOSIO.
Oh, is it not scrolling? Is it on Swagger? Like it should be API avatar authenticate. It's probably
we have
probably really slow connection here. Wouldn't surprise me. So are you what can you see on your screen? Is it like avatar authenticate?
I see Solana, EOS.
Postman, we see Postman running.
Oh, Postman.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. So yeah. So it's looking at the wrong screen. I thought it's showing my whole screen. Hang on a second. So, oops. Yeah, let's change this. So you can see that now. Oops. Thought you can see what I see. So now you can see this screen, the web page, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's annoying. I was talking through this way, but basically this is what I was talking about. But you can go on to API OASISplatform.world and it automatically go to this page. And yeah, this is what I was just talking through the different providers. And oh yeah, I won't go through it all again, but hopefully you can work out what I was saying from the audio. The 3 different databases, relational graph, document, Holochain, Solana, Ethereum, EOS, Telos, Seeds, IPFS. That's annoying. And then the JWT token, this is what I was highlighting when I was talking earlier on. And then I was scrolling down, showing you the avatar API. Okay, and then I was saying like per API call, you can then override the provider type. So here you just like update the avatar detail, per username. But here you're saying I want to override that with this provider type, and you pass in that provider type, one of these types. So Holo OS, say, and then you say, is that set globally? Is it, you say false if it's just for this one call, or true for all future calls? Or now we'll now be using the provider you passed in here. That's what I was just saying. And then, yeah, I was explaining about the UMA, the 3D model, logged in avatar, register, authenticate your email, you know, when you standard kind of thing, when you sign up for something. And this is what I was just saying, the advanced ones, what I was just trying to crowbar in the last few days, but I haven't quite finished yet. So I've got kind of half working, so I'm going to demo this next time. And this is where you can say, is it going to auto-replicate? Is it going to auto-failover? Is it going to load balance? And what providers do you want me to use? And you can pass in this default, and then a word default, like a string, and it will just use the defaults. Or you can say what you want to, you know, you can basically, so you can see how powerful the engine is. You can customize it. This is one of my gifts that I like giving people, make things very generic and adaptable and able to plug anything in. And for developers, though, I appreciate this because it's basically mostly, I hate when you kind of get tools and they're very closed box, a black box, and you can't really tweak or customize it. And you kind of have to do it my way or the highway, and you're forced to use a rigid API that doesn't really let you have any flexibility or power behind it. But I've tried to design the OASIS so you can do anything you can imagine, and it's up to developers and people to use imagination. It's a bit like Holochain in a way. It's similar to Holochain ethos, that you can build whatever you want on top of it, and you can bend the engine to do anything you want. Especially with this upgrade, you can now do it per call, per avatar, and this is saved to your avatar as well. So every avatar, so basically every account can tweak their own settings. So you're basically having full control of the data, on exactly what actions does it get replicated, and where, and what behavior do you want it to work on, how do you want the load balancing to work, how do you want auto failover to work. So I hope you can get an idea of how powerful this can be. But to really see it, you need people to start building the apps on top of it. That's why I'm doing this demo, so get developers to start jumping on, and then they can start to use this. People still joining.
So it's functional, David? Can we create an avatar and an account, or not yet?
Yeah, you can do it for the API. This is thing, and you can. We have got a web UI as well. They're just finishing because of the resources. It's I hadn't better hire very experienced developers, so it's been very painful.
Because I tried like 2 days ago, and I understand. I tried like 2 days ago, and it wasn't working. So I wonder if something changed within the 2 days. Now it's functional, right? We can go and create accounts, avatar, and
on the web UI. Soon. That's why I said I wasn't ready to demo today, really, but I kind of forcing myself to showing something, because the web UI they told me they fixed it, but I have to verify whether they fixed it. So basically that's what I'm showing later on. The web UI, that's not part of today. Today is just the back end, just showing the back end, and the web UI is going to be in a few weeks' time. It'll be ready by then. But it'll probably be ready before then. It'll probably be ready in a few days, but I'm going to demo it. And if it's ready in a few days, I'll send the link around. People can start doing that, and then I'll demo it in a few months, and in a few weeks. But for now, you can use, if you have Postman, you can create avatars for this. Oh wait, I'll go back to that in a second. I'll show you that bit in a second.
David, quick question: can I add a developer to the group or not?
To this group?
Yeah. Am I allowed to?
Yeah, but now?
Yeah.
Oh, to this thing. Yeah.
Cool. Because I want to win on the next meeting, because he's kind of up to speed on my project, and this would be really useful for him.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I guess you're also going to do questions. Again, I can take a few questions down, and then I'll do a bit more, because I want to, So
it's a good idea that people start to join, David, if you want people to plug in, because the more traction you've got. So anyway, I'll leave you without questions. Sorry, mate.
I'll sit on mute. So how do you pronounce it? Abada? Do you want to say something? Her question?
Yes, David. Firstly, great work to the team for bringing all this together. And what I would like to understand, just looking at the backend and one of the specific modules that you had shared about seeds, had really, really like inspired me to an extent, seeing possible connections with projects that are already in flight, creating NFTs and other things. So what I was trying to wonder, what I'm trying to arrive to at, how can someone like there in that world, Seeds NFT world, use Avatar and the current Seeds module that you have? How do they plug and play? If you can just explain to me in layman terms, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I said like that. This is what I'm going to show you. One of the modules I'm going to show you actually seeds, because on the schedule I didn't add seeds to it. I'm going to add seeds at the end. So then I'll go through. But basically, that Postman I was showing earlier on, and this API, they can just plug into this API, and then at the end you have /seeds, and then seeds is yeah, down here somewhere. So basically you can log in with your seeds, your avatar, you can link your seeds account to your avatar, and then when you pay for seeds and you reward the seeds, you can use either your Telos account, which is your seeds account, or you can use your avatar. So they're interchangeable. Because your Telos account is linked to your avatar, you can use either. So it looks it up, it converts between them, and then you get Karma and seeds. And then I've linked Karma and seeds, and I've linked seeds account and avatar account together. So that's kind of an example of where we're going with OASIS. It's all about integration and merging everything together. And then this is then how seeds can talk to Holochain, for example. It can talk to Solana, it can talk to anything. It's just been such a crazy amount of work to get this far, and there's still loads of crazy amount of work to do, because this is just the beginning. This is what I call the storage network layer. This is the engine, and now we start building what I call the magic layer, and that's the use case engine. So that's the keys and wallets is the first, and seeds are the first example of things built on top of it. And then there's going to be lots more, and then Star Omniverse is another layer. That's like Magic Plus layer. And
Right.
but these other ones, they can start doing things. This is why I need developers to come and help, because there's a lot, you can do a lot already, but I haven't got the time to build all this stuff. I'm going back to Star Web 5 very soon. The angels keep telling me to get on with that, because the Omniverse is needed now. I need to take it down on Facebook before they go create a broad timeline. So it's quite important that I start coding the Omniverse like now. And that's why I'm handing this over to Farha and other developers who want to jump in, and Mike, and anyone wants to help, because I'm now stopping development of Web 4 because I've done my bit on it. This is as far as I'm going with it, and now I've got to go on to Web 5 because that needs to be done. So this is why I've done all this, and the code is very high quality now as well. It's evolved over the years, because you remember I demoed this 2 years ago. The first alpha, this is all here 2 years ago. Seeds was done as well a year and a half ago, but unfortunately people didn't really understand what I was talking about. But maybe now it's time, and then I can. But this code is in a very good state, so I made it so it's open source and other developers can jump in now. So now I think about it, a year and a half ago, people could help, but it wasn't as mature. Now the code's much more stable and mature, so it's easy to like the standard speller basically, so people can look at what I've done and they can duplicate it. So I think it's time for other developers to jump in now, because I think like a year and a half ago it wasn't quite ready, but now it is. So that's what I'm going to do, the tech deep dive, in a few weeks. So I'll start going through the code, and you see what I mean. There's a lot of code. There's about 200,000 lines of code behind all this. It's a lot, and going through this Swagger doesn't really do it justice. But I'm trying to share what I can now to start getting people interested.
Just a quick follow-up. This is definitely very interesting, and I don't want to step in your demo because you want to go through all the details that are there. Just a follow-up question I want to quickly ask is that when we speak of avatar, and for an end user, real world end user to interact with them, they would have to start thinking of some kind of a UI also, right? They would have to start thinking of the UI, though they can use the OSS engine to connect the endpoints with seeds and other things that they're doing, but they'll have to start thinking and envisioning their UI that they wish to create to start really giving them the experience of interacting with this engine and whatever that is.
Yeah, basically, because that's what we're building. Like we've got a React developer team that are building generic like Web UI components as examples. but they're an example, so people can build whatever they want. It's just like HoloChain, you know, it's like an engine, but you can even build your own providers in different languages, different stacks. You can plug in Java or Python or Go or React, Angular, Vue, because it's a very generic, flexible engine, so it can work with anything. And it can even extend it as well. This is why I'm going to go for the tech deep dive. This is I want the open source developer community to really get on board with this, because it's about time it starts getting attention and love it needs. Because I need to step away and build Web 5 now. So it's like I've done my bit. This is the handover. I'm handing over Web 4 to the community now. This is what I'm doing. This is like my handover. I'm handing it to Farha, my tech lead, but he can't do it on his own. We need people to come and build this. And then I can go and get Web 5 ready for people to come on board, but Web 5 isn't ready yet. I need to get that to prototype level, and this is way beyond prototype level. This was an alpha 2 years ago, and now this is the production version, and it's now pretty mature, and that's why now this is kind of like a handover. And as you can see, I'm scrolling up here, these are different types in the system, and you can see how extensive it is. It's like a spiritual RPG. Blockchain, holochain, seeds, like mesh of everything, because it's everything integrated. You can see there's examples of things you saw at multiverses and omniverses, stars, moons, planets, wallets, karma, standard kind of like normal Web 2, Web 3 kind of things you recognize, and then there's OLANs, NFTs. But there's a lot of stuff in here. Like I haven't actually scrolled down this list for a long time, but this is just giving the preview. These are basically the interfaces inside the OASIS. So like a lot of this stuff doesn't do justice, but when you start to look for this, you start to get an idea of what's under the hood. And there's a lot of stuff underneath. Oh God, it's a long list. I won't go through all this now. But I wanted to just do a quick demo of the actual avatar. So I actually show it working. That might be good because I've talked quite a bit now. But yeah, that's this. People can have a look later on at this stuff. But this is like the NFT wallet stuff we're working on now. And what I was going to show was on the avatar detail. You can get an idea of the kind of things that's in the actual avatar as well. Yeah, here I kind of list them all, so you can see standard kind of database karma and XP level, and it said you've got a 2D portrait of that's for websites. So on the website, your 2D portrait will appear, but on the game, your 3D model will appear. That's kind of like how I'm saying your avatar can be on anything. So it's like a 2D and 3D representation of your avatar. This is for like Mohan, like heart rate data. It's building biofeedback hardware. So we've got like the heart rate data, and it'll probably be a lot more we're going to add. Chakras, aura, and then gifts, stats. There's tons of stuff inside these things, by the way.
David, which page are you showing again?
Oh,
we're looking at the avatar detail. Is that where we are?
Yeah. Can you see that? Yeah, the
small writing. Oh, that's so cool.
I can see this bit here. It's highlighted. Hopefully, still HP, mana, energy, and stamina should be in the stats, and then that gene keys, human design, skills, attributes. Standard like RPG stuff you get in games, but it's like a spiritual RPG in a way. That's what it is. And then you level up your superpowers and spells, achievements. You unlock different achievements. You have your inventory, and then you get access to Omniverse from inside your avatar, just like real life gets disclosure. So the Omniverse Web 5 is actually an object inside the avatar object. So when you get the avatar detail, you can then go not only for all this stuff, you can go into the Omniverse through your avatar because it's inside you, because the universe is inside you. You can access everything from within yourself. This is why I say it's like disclosure as well. There's so many levels to this. It'll take me a long time to go through every bit. I'm just trying to give you a little taste of kind of what I've been working on the last few years. It's been quite intense, but this is all ready. So the back end's ready for the game. Like all the back end of the game is built. The avatar stuff. There's so much stuff that's invisible that people don't see yet. But when people start building on it, you'll start to see. I'm just going to like switch to Postman, and then you can just quickly show you it working, hopefully. So now, can you see Postman now? It's like a black screen, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just going to delete my old avatar, just so I can create a new one. Let's hide that. And then it was quite nerve-wracking last night because there was a power cut and about 8:30, and I was working on these new features, and I was going to just stop and then make sure this is all working, and then I had a power cut until like from 8:30 to 11:30. And normally I go to bed at 10 o'clock, so I had to stay up till 11:30, and then I was going to go to bed. I thought, no, I have to check live, and I found those issues. So then I had to stay up till like 1 o'clock, just start frantically fixing some stuff. And then today I deployed 2.2.2. So as always as IT, it's all like nice last minute fun adrenaline rush. So then here we're going to register an avatar. So then we're on live. So you can see I've got like dev, live, and staging environments. And that's what goes into the host there, that's basically the HTTP. Yeah, you can see the API OASIS platform.world. Staging is basically staging.api at the front, and then dev is dev, which don't need to worry about that. And when you create standard kind of things, when you create, username and name and email, password, and you got other types of wizard or standard user. Normally that's just this user, but wizards are basically admins. So I'm just an admin. Because admins can do anything on the API, but users can do so much. So let's see. Hopefully this is working. Because the problem is the server right now is hosted in UK. So sometimes I've had some connection issues from Mexico. But we're about to deploy this to threefold. Oh, it's working. Thank God. Sometimes it timed out earlier on, but that's because I just deployed it, I think. But yeah, within a few weeks, we're going to deploy the threefold. So then you can see it running across the grid, and then that should help with, be truly centralized then, and then it will help with connectivity issues. Right now, it's just one little server in UK, which is just a bootstrapping, an example just to get something out there. But it now needs to be, now it's ready to be deployed properly. So here we created a avatar, and then every result gets back this OASIS result. I won't go too much into this, but this is it's a lot more verbose. There's nothing but OASIS. It's very fault tolerant and very it feedbacks a lot of information to you. Because one of my bugbears as a developer is when things go wrong and doesn't tell you. I don't know if you've ever seen that, like Windows, you go, an error has occurred, and you're like, no shit, an error has occurred. You want to like give me a clue what it is, and they don't help you. Like, what the fuck is the problem? So developers will probably understand that pain that I have, and I've been years of this. I'm just frustrated with developers not telling you what the hell is the problem. So I'm very detailed with my error messages, and I like to give back as much information as possible. So that's where this has come from. And another good thing is you don't. I won't go too much into it, but you're not supposed to throw exceptions in .NET. You're meant to like pass around your own. I built my own error handling mechanism. So every method returns this and tells you like, did it load, did it save, how many errors, how many warnings, a message, a detail message. I won't bore you. It's more a technical thing. But it's saying it's created it, and now we can verify our email. And here's my wallet. Here's my avatar. It's got empty wallets right now. Avatar ID, just standard stuff, my wizard, and then we're from beamed in is whether you logged in or not, it's beamed in, and is it verified? And this is the new stuff I said I crowbarred in last night. This is the new stuff. It tells you what version we're running, what state is the engine on, what load balance replication or failover on, what provider is it currently on, and this is standard HTTP stuff. If people in tech will know that's just a standard thing, best practice to return that. Okay, so then we've got an email. So then I'll go to, you probably can't see my emails, can you? I'll probably have to change it again. Yeah, it's crazy. People are still joining. People must have got the time wrong. Can you see my email? I'm not sure you can see my email. I'll just share it just in case. Hope you can see my email now. So this is what you get when you sign up, and then you get a link, and this link will work, and it used to work, but they're kind of fixing things. This will take you to the live site. I don't want to show you that, the HTML actual UI to it, and then it'll verify your avatar with the token, But for now, I'm just going to do it manually so I can show you how it works for developers. So let's go back to my other screen. So screen. Yeah. Oh, there's quite a lot of people here now. I'm glad I don't see how many people were here. It makes me more nervous. And then you go to verify email, and then that's a token. So basically, this is all done for the UI. So you click the link, you saw the email, and then it will pass this token in, and then you verify your avatar. But this is for more for a developer stuff. So developers can like, this is how I say it, developers can use this to do anything. They can build your own UI. So this is how you would, standard authentication stuff. And now it's saying we verify, so we can log in. And then we go to authenticate. And yeah, so I purposely got my password wrong here. So oh, this is that's one of the new settings, by the way, show detail settings. So that basically is what turns this on. So now it shows you what providers it's running across. So that's what's load balancing and failover and replicating across. A local firewall, this is a new one I wrote recently, and that's just for the storing your private keys to your local storage. That'd be only on your device. So that only your private keys go there, and your public keys and wallets go onto the other ones, like I was explained earlier on. SQLite is also a local one, and Holochain can be too. Holochain can be local. So yeah, here we logged in. It says avatar successfully authenticated, and then same as before. And this is the JWT token I said about. So that's the token you pass in the header of all future calls. So we want to copy that, and then you just got refresh token. Now it's verified in this date. We beamed in, and this is when you last beamed in, which is the same as logged in. Because your avatar, you're beaming in, you're not, everything's done in like an avatar kind of way. And then if I want to say forgot my password, so if I try to do this now, it should say, yeah, this is what happens if you don't pass in the token. It will say it's invalid, authorization failed. So I made all use messages very verbose and user friendly, so you can kind of understand what it's talking about. Okay, so that was weird. So do something. I didn't know people could do that. Yeah. How do I turn it off anyway? So I don't know. How so? Because people can draw on my screen, but I don't know. Let's put it in settings somewhere. Do that.
So who is Zoom? Who's joined as Zoom?
Oh, Zoom. I think that's Bradley, is it? I think.
Yeah, sorry. Hi.
Yeah. So I just suddenly someone was drawing across the screen.
There is one more Zoom.
Wasn't me, sorry.
No, there is one more Zoom.
Oh, someone else. I have to work out how to turn it off in a minute. Do you remember the last time I did this? I had someone trolled me again that time. Always the way. Oh yeah, so here we set the, so here I set in the header, authorization header, and there's a thing called a bearer token. This is just for technical people, and that's the token that we had in when we got authenticated, and then now it sent me an email saying, can you like reset your password? And this is all kind of standard stuff. It's like nothing really exciting, just standard authentication. And then you get the reset password, and then you click that link and it will take you to the website and reset your password. Instead, we'll just take this token. This is just more or less to kind of show you it's working, because Mohan, I know that the emails, when it first went live with the alpha, it didn't work because it only worked with Hotmail. That was really weird. But now we fixed that. This is what came out of last year when we started building with the developers. We started building on the API, and then that's when it's really started to find more issues. And this one now going, that was kind of like a closed alpha, but this is more like an open alpha now, or open beta. It's kind of production, but it's really, people need to start really testing it and building it, and then we can fine tune any more stuff. So yeah, and then that's the token we put in here, and we save a new password, and then we put it, say, yeah, so we've got to put the right token in here. Just this one. So that's the JWT token. The future demos will get more exciting because this is just, I have to go through to show you the avatar API. This is just how you log in basically, and forget your password and reset your password. It's not really, but what's powerful about the OASIS, what I'm showing you is the auto-replication stuff and auto failover, that which I've already talked about. So hopefully you can get an idea of it. And the refresh token. This is just how you, that's just a standard Web 2 thing as well. When you're logged in, sometimes it logs you out after, because it timed out after 10 minutes, I think. And here you can just refresh your token, basically. And then evoke your token again. That's how you log out. So you evoke that token and and then be logged out. I won't go through every single bit. Actually, I realize it's be quite boring. I'm just going to show you some bits. But it's all working. This is what I was testing to 1 in the morning last night. So yeah, if I try to get an avatar, and this is the kind of thing like here, if I actually I showed the error handling. So now it's taken a while because this avatar doesn't exist anymore. I deleted it. This is the old avatar, and this is by ID, but we can get it by username and email as well. So that's probably more common, more user-friendly, but you can use the ID. This is what I said about the server. We need to get it hosted, because that's what that's doing. It's going for all those providers. It's got the auto failover is kicking in. You can't find it on Mongo, so it's going to Ethereum, EOS, Solana. It's going to all of the blockchains and all the databases trying to find his avatar. And this is why I said you can configure it. So if you don't want it to auto failover or want to return quicker, then you tell it don't fail over these ones. So that it's saying that, yeah, it tried to find that, it's looked through all these providers. So this is why it took a bit longer. And then it goes in a detail error message of why, and it's saying like avatar not found on Mongo, on the Mongo provider. And then it's saying on SQL, it had an invalid exception error. This is what Farhas has fixed. This is fixing the SQLite provider. So I'm going to demo the providers this in next week, and then that's just a big dump of error messages. But then you can see it goes into the other providers as well. So you've got what's that, Nero? So you can see Nero, IPFS, Holochain, SQLite, Threefold, Ethereum, and these are the errors returned back from each provider. So what I'm going to do for the next demo, I'm going to get these providers configured, because the providers are finished. I just need to be configuring and setting up, and I need to merge in some latest fixes that Farha's done, and smart contracts is deployed, and then you see it actually running across these things. But I left this in purpose because I wanted to show you the error handling, how verbose it is. This is what I was talking about. So you don't just get, oh, an error's occurred. Like you, as a developer, you know exactly what's happened, and you can see that stack of everything. And it's even more detailed logging in the back end. So I did this make it developer friendly. For users, it's like this is like a mess, but to a developer, this is like, oh my god, thank God, I can actually see what's going on under the hood. I'm just talking from the developer's perspective. But then so this is a little example. Now we grab the real avatar ID. So this is my actual real avatar ID, and then it'll work.
So how is the avatar IDs linked with the wallets?
Oh yeah, I think I showed it briefly before. Oh, yeah, see, loaded now before you joined. But basically, that's going to be a future session. But basically, just a quick overview is in keys. You can link any public key to avatar to your avatar, and you can link any private key, and it's done separately, so you don't ever send the private public key in the same request. In this case, is packet sniffers and things. So basically, you have your avatar ID, or you can have a username or email, whichever one you want to use, and then the public key will go here. And then what provider? So that'd be Ethereum, Solana, EOS, whatever provider you want to link it to. And when you first do it, you don't if you don't pass in the wallet ID, it'll create a new wallet, and then it return a wallet ID. You get a wallet. You return a wallet ID back here, and then when you link the private key, you then pass in that wallet ID here. So then you have your wallet ID, and then you link that private key.
Yes.
Basically, that's how it works. And it's more stuff coming on as well later on, and you can generate a whole key pair and link it to your wallet. So then you don't even have to worry about keys. You can create your own ones. Yes, that's why this one.
Can you show how to create an Ethereum wallet using the generate key pair endpoint probably, or any provider's wallet? That would be very useful for me.
I could maybe quickly, because it's supposed to be a future session, but I guess I'll just do like 2 minutes, I guess, and go more detail later on. But I didn't test this recently, so I hope it's still working. I was only testing the avatar, so let's see if it actually works on this. Yeah, so if I wanted to do, yeah, so let's say I did this, and then hang on, yeah, so. And bear in mind, like I said, you can use every method in the OASIS. You can use, like I said, your ID, username, email. You can see every single method has 3 versions of it. So right now I'm using the ID one, but
that's amazing.
But username, you can, so yeah, you can put username, and then email will be email. So you kind of get the idea, I think. Hopefully, so make everything flexible as I can. So let's see if this works. And then so then that'll be what for Ethereum would be Ethereum. That's spell it. Is it spelled right? If then that'd be your public key, whatever it is, blah blah blah, and then let's see if it works. Oh yeah, got to log in first. So token. What one was it? This one. And then let's see. Wait, yeah. Oh yeah. See, this is it's trying to save to local storage. And because I never tested on the server, so this is how you see the error handling. It's trying to local file analysis. It's trying to save to the local storage, and it hasn't got access to that file on the server. It's denied.
Where is it hosted currently? Where's the server?
So this is gone on a server in UK. It's like a Windows server in UK at the minute. So, but what I'm going to do, what's going to be? Actually, maybe I think it. Hang on a minute. It might have saved it to Mongo, because this is in the public key, because I've got the auto replication on. So this is why it's auto replications on. It's trying to replicate to local file as well. But if I turn that off, then it will probably work, because it's trying to replicate it to local file storage, and then it can't write to that thing. This is why in the future, next demo, I'll show this properly, because I haven't prepared for this bit. As you can see, I haven't tested this on live yet. This works locally. I just got to yeah, good. And you can see yeah, see on these ones, it's going it's saying it has to be storage local. So you can see the security and error handling.
Yes.
This is a good demo, so you can see that it doesn't allow you to store private keys on anything that hasn't. I had to create a new thing called storage local and private storage local network.
That's really cool.
Because you guys, yeah, I built it all and it was all done, and you went, oh, we can't store your private keys in database. Oh, crap, that had happened another month, changing it all to make. I had to split it out so then it stores the private keys locally and the public keys remotely and publicly. But that's how it would work. Then you get the wallet ID back, and then you link that, and then these things you can get hold of all your keys per avatar. You can get it per provider or all of them, all the ones stored. And unique storage keys, basically, you every time it stores your data to a provider, you have a unique ID. So Mongo would be a different ID. On Ethereum, it'd be a hash. On Holochain, it'd be a hash. Whatever the provider is, it has its own key in a unique way. and then you can just see all the keys linked to that avatar. So it's just useful stuff for developers, basically. Just developer utility functions. For end user, this is probably all just la la la, but if you're a developer, you can start to see the power of this. Basically, I'm just trying to give as much power to the developer as possible, so you can build anything you can imagine on this. That's kind of why, and I'm trying to give you as much visibility on what's going on behind the scenes under the hood. So I'm just trying to open up the engine as much as possible. That's kind of what these things do. So that's what unique storage keys are for. And oh, it's caching as well. So it caches all your keys. Just make it faster. Let's experiment. I'm going to implement caching across the whole OASIS. This is kind of like an experiment. The keys and wallets is the first place I started putting caching. So that's the way of clearing the cache. But next week, I think whatever session it is, I think it's like 3 weeks time, 2-3 weeks time. It's the wallet one, and then I can show this properly. So I just got to just quickly finish running through the avatar, and then I'm kind of done really. But you kind of get the idea, like get avatar, and you get all avatars. Oh, I'll show you the avatar detail. That'd be interesting.
Kayla mı? Bu ne oğlum? Ha,
Let me just
Kayla.
Oops, sorry.
Yeni suyumuz mu? Yeni suyumuz mu? Adam da zaten de lira yapmış. Allah Allah. Dedim ne yapıyorsunuz dedim ya bu kurak bilmiyorsun sürekli zam. O da şey dedi abi dedi. Kayla diye bir su var.
Yeah, who is Zoom?
He's talking.
There is 2 Zooms on the call. So
25 liraya satılan su 25 lira olmuş. Yani satılan bir tane su ismini söyledi.
Evet,
O suyu aynısı dedi. İsmi farklı sadece. 20 lira dedi. Ondan alırsın. Dedi bunları götür onu getir. Ya dedi bir daha yorma beni. Buna da eski fiyat verir.
Wait a second. I'm just figuring out how to use Zoom. Like I said, I haven't got
Aynı
much
fiyattan
experience.
altında normalde 30 olmuş. Şimdi 20 liralık bir kayla su varmış. Ondan adam.
So yeah, there. Okay, found them one. Okay, so where are we? So yeah, just going to show the avatar detail. Get avatar using avatar detail, and we do it by actually I'll just do it by email. So hotmail.com. 1 second, and then gotta get the login authentication token. Avatar detail. This one. Just want to try and get through the rest of this, and then I'll do questions at the end if that's okay, because I just want to make sure I cover everything, and then I'll take questions. Just oh yeah, wait, because we're talking so long, I've got to log in again. So that's an example. You see, it's logged out because it's timed out. So imagine on a website or an app, you don't want it to stay logged in forever, and we can adjust the timeout. But I think it's about 5 minutes or so. Oh wait, did I change the password? Oops. Did I change it? Oh, I might have. So now I lost my train of thought because I have a little routine to go through, and I can't remember where I got to, because some updates I change things. So I've got to make sure I get the right login. Okay. Okay, yeah, Avatar doesn't exist. It is Hotmail. That's again, it's going through all the providers trying to find the user.
I'm sorry to interrupt, guys, but so Zoom Kulani Sisi, who is this guy? because everybody's asking, but we don't have any response. So we want to know who this guy is. Please step forth and tell us who you are.
Who's that?
Hello. I mean, he's here, but he's on mute. So
Oh, right.
yeah.
it's
Do you know
random.
who that is?
No, not sure.
Okay, so
Right.
that means if we don't have a response, shouldn't be on this meeting.
Bradley, is that your tech guy?
No, I didn't invite him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did invite a tech guy, but
And then
he
there
didn't
is an
come.
iPhone 2, iPhone 2. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, yeah, I guess if people don't respond, then I guess not much point being here. I guess, but it's a bit weird. People join.
Exactly. And I mean, we just don't want, there's a lot of things going on, David. We talked about this.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
Telepathic
Yeah.
message being sent right now.
and Mohan, remember the last time I did a demo of this a year and a half ago? We got trolled. This guy came on and started posting obscene pictures of things.
I think we should
private
also maybe make everybody sign NDA. So this
agree.
is my part, right? This is my
I
part
agree.
and business development and everything. We should really protect what we're doing. So NDA, and it's simple. It's pretty simple and standard, and people could sign it before coming in. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I guess could do. I'm just very. It's another whole discussion that is about that, because I'm very open and trusting, and I don't want to exclude people, but I don't know. At the
understand.
same time, you got it's
You
a middle
don't
ground.
want to get attacked. Do you know what I mean? Along the process road, you know.
Yeah,
It's like the mess that could cause, if someone broke in and just destroyed.
Why can't I?
Yeah, it's all open source, but the strategy is not open source.
Yeah.
So that's our strategy and how we're going to move about things in the world, especially as a company. We don't want people knowing about that. So yeah, I would suggest these guys leave the room, or we will kick them out.
Yeah.
David, you're the admin.
Go on.
Kindly identify yourselves, or you shall be kicked out.
How did you get here?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no one is replying, so they should. David, are you the
Can you
admin?
kick them out, David? Because it's kind of uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I just
Oh, someone's actually speaking there. No, someone spoke then. Oh.
No, there is no response. There is no written or spoken response.
One
so
second. I'm just trying to multitask on money. My brain's trying to think about the technical stuff. And okay, so who do you want me to kick out? Sorry.
iPhone 2.
there is the Zoom Kulanishisi or something.
Oh, the one who's talking. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's iPhone 2.
I feel guilty, but okay.
No, don't feel guilty. It's just the procedure.
Is this normal practice then? I just boot people who don't talk. Okay. I just feel I don't like being like this. I feel censoring. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe someone's just joined, through spyware or whatever. So.
Okay.
It happens.
I would honestly not even use Zoom. This is one of the reasons I hate Zoom. Zoom and everything connected to it, especially if we want to build something decentralized, we should all be on encrypted stuff already. And I mean, if the fact that the technology is open source doesn't mean that how we're going to go about things is open source. Especially after seeing the metaverse, like Meta did exactly what you were trying to do, David.
Yeah.
So that's already like, I don't know where they got that thing from, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is some, business.
Well, the thing is what frustrated me.
I know there are.
But Morales, because I kind of built the OASIS API, released it all, and then a year later, 6 months later, Morales came out with something that seemed very, very similar, a very rip-off. And then someone told me they knew the guy who founded Morales, and that he was on a YouTube. He was a YouTube guy, and suddenly he went dark, disappeared, and he changed, and he got really like negative, and then he released Morales. That's what someone told me, and I was like, interesting, because it seemed like a complete rip-off of the OASIS API. But
that's the problem, because they would take the technology and make it exactly. They would take the technology and turn it into something we don't want it to become.
No, I think I've been using Morales for building few of the applications myself, and it's really not comparable to OASIS. Like, they're completely two different leads. So there's no rip-offs or anything that I could see. I could see there are problems that OASIS is solving that Morales is not, and also the other way around. So Morales is currently like bringing all the features that relevant to the current trend in the market, majorly NFTs and tokens and all of these things. And OASIS is something that is much more futuristic, and the trend has yet to catch up.
Okay, that's good. It's been really hard for me, the journey, and then you see recently, I laughed with Max about Jack Dorsey's so-called Web 5, and Chris got triggered too, the HoloWeb, and I was just like, that's not Web 5, it's Web 3 rebranded and repackaged as Web 5. It's like a child, it's like schoolboy logic. I read the white paper. It's like Web 3. Web 2 equals Web 5. Like, no, it's Web 3. It's built as a web platform built on blockchain. It's blockchain, and therefore on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is Web 3, and it's a web. Yeah, it's still pretty cool, but it's not Web 4, or it's not even Web 4, let alone Web 5. And that's what we're building here. Is like it's like a next layer up. It's just from the future. This is an abstraction layer above Web 1, 2, and 3. It's one that brings, and then Web 5. Like, I haven't even talked about that. Like, you actually see Star, because then Mohan and everyone loves what I'm building, which I'm really grateful for. But this is nothing. This is boring to me compared to what Star and Web 5 can do. It's like another level. It's 12D. This is 5D technology, and Web 5 is 12D technology. It's insane. It's a quantum leap. The energy, I can feel the energy and vibration of it. It's way higher, and that's why I want to go back to it as soon as possible. Like I'm going to now. This is my handover of Web 4 to the world, and then I'm going to back to Web 5, and then I need to show it. I need to show you guys Web 5. I need to do a demo of Star, because Star is the real deal. Star, like it's telling me, is what's going to change everything. This is like the warm up. This is like to get people prepared for Web 5.
But we need to have like a demo, like something that we can use, that we can actually create avatars and show the world, so that we can claim it. Because for me, like as a PR person, it's super important to have a strategy, communication strategy that will, make, like, give us these credits of actually being the founders of this technology. So the same thing doesn't happen with Meta, like Meta. You've seen what happened, right? So they kind of copied the same idea, but differently, and actually a very dark scenario where people are actually disconnected from the real world completely, and put into this virtual reality 100% immersed. And so it's not the original goal of what we're doing, but it's a very, very similar idea. So that's why I'm worried, because I don't want it to, I just want to have something to show investors, to show people, to say, hey, we did this, okay? We're doing this. And so that once you do that, it's done, it's yours. Yeah. But before you do that, you it's like very risky.
It's right. Just very quickly, I just want to show this last little bit, and then we could do questions at the end, if it's okay. I just want to finish this last bit.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry about that, David.
No, it's good. Thank you for being the policeman, security.
We need some police.
Intergalactic police.
I need that, because I'm a very trusting, open person, but sometimes I guess maybe I do need a bit of protection. I'm divinely protected, but I guess it can't hurt. Be careful.
No, it's really important, bro.
So I just want to show you this is the avatar detail. So I loaded the avatar detail, and here, just talking about it, I put this achievement in. Two of my achievements is when I complete Star, I become Superman. They keep telling me that. I know it sounds crazy, or maybe they call it a tech Superman, if you want, it makes people more comfortable. So the tech Superman. And this is Web 5 Star, and I really want to show you it. I can't wait. It's just another level. Anyway, but this is the back end, because it's built on top of OASIS API. It's like the next level up, and I'm going to do some diagrams. You saw my Taurus and Christmas tree. I'm going to actually draw them properly, so you can get an idea of the whole architecture. And here you got attributes. You saw earlier. This is the actual the real avatar detail. So this is like an RPG game, or different levels, brightness, size, the colors, RGB of it. It's got a lot of detail. It even talks about, it's even got your different chakras and disclosure. It talks about your chakras, what they're for, different crystals, protection levels, energizing level, ground level. This is for the game. So you can see this is the back end of the OASIS. I said about this is the full-on avatar. So this is what no one's seen before, but just to show you how detailed it is. And then you've got some standard stuff, gene key stuff, favorite colors. This, when you log into Star, it says, what's your favorite color? And it changes the Star command line interface to your favorite color. But it's got a little AI, the Star's got AI in it as well. So it kind of learns, and it's simple at the minute, just like what your favorite color is and things. And then you get gifts, human design stuff. All these things expanded out. I put these as placeholders so you get an idea where we're going. my inventory, my karma level, my level, and my different skills with different things in here, my different spells. And then, yeah, that's a star color, something about, and then my stats, HP, mana, energy, stamina, my superpowers. Remember, so karma unlocks some powers in the game. So you can fly and teleport, telekinesis, telepathy. And we use Mohan's biofeedback hardware, so you actually have to meditate to use telekinesis. You move things with your mind. It's real Jedi force powers. So you can't just move your hand, because we're gonna have like full body recognition as well. You actually have to meditate and move things, and you make it rain by meditating, and make the campfire, start the campfire to keep yourself warm at night. This is all going to be in one world. This is why we need the millions and billions. That's why I'm doing this demo, because we need some serious funding, because building the back end's taking a lot, but the UI is even more work. And we need a lot more than just me to build the OASIS. And then, yeah, that's the avatar detail object, and then the standard OASIS stuff again. And then you can update them all by each things. I'll show you the karma briefly. That might be interesting. So you can add and move karma. So here, I'm just going to just get my token again. So you imagine when you nice UI and game tool is, it's really powerful. Right now, this is just the nuts and bolts. So you see the back end. And then here, I'm saying karma types, be it hero, where is it coming from? It could be game, app, website, anything. Helping people, and a description of is great game. This can be anything. This is just my test data. Oh yeah, and I've got to put the right avatar in. So hopefully it still works. Yeah, so it's added my karma to my avatar. And then I have a thing called a karma Akashic records, and that's basically your whole like your data, your log of all your karma you've ever earned. It's added 7 karma to my karma there, and then yeah, the type just earned a loss, and I think it's got my total karma. Yeah, and then same with move karma is the same thing. So if you do bad things, like here I'm saying in seeds, game of seeds, running on Android, I'll drop litter or something, say example, and then you lose karma for that. And this is why we're creating a DAO. So basically people can vote every new moon. People can vote on the karma ratings. Right now they're hard coded. So people can rate like how much karma do you lose for dropping litter, how much karma do you gain for picking up litter, and people can vote for new karma categories. There's quite a lot already. I don't know if I can quickly show you karma. I think it would be here. So I'll probably come back to that in a minute. So I just want to going through this. And then get avatar portrait. You saw earlier on, that's a 2D portrait. And basically you can upload a portrait and load a portrait. And basically that the image base it's just a string. It's just an image that you upload. We're getting technical. It gets converted to a string, and they always load and save it. And then this is getting the 3D avatar, and then you can the 3D object, and then you can search your avatars, and then there's terms and conditions stored in it. So that's that, and then yeah, I find the karma, and then that's basically this phase done, I think. So where's the karma? 1 second. Yeah, here it is. I'll just show you. So we just end quickly. You see a snapshot of the code, but this is going to be changed to the DAO later on. But for now, oh, did I share the right screen? Can you see this? Can you see the code? Karma type positive. Did I share the right screen? did share screen. Yeah. So you can see that, right? I hope. List of karma types, hopefully. And that's all the different karmas you have in so far. So you can pick up litter, anything you can imagine. Anything our world is in the game. So that's in the actual game. Defending plays, being present, being mindful. This is how we have the EEG headband and Mohan's biofeedback hardware. So we can like know how you're feeling, happy or mindful, or how present you are. And also what flow state you're in. That's a new thing. So we're going to have to add flow state. That's what he's working on with the soul compass. And then in real life, this is like doing things in real life. So being a hero, you know, helping a granny across the road. I don't know, saving someone from a fire, burning build. A fireman would get a lot of karma, I guess. And then being healthy, nutrition, improving yourself, and you know, mindfulness app or a meditation app, helping animals, keeping the peace, helping the community. You can imagine anything. This is examples. This is why it has to be for the community needs to vote on this, because it go on and on. See, that's why it needs to be a Deo, because that's, I don't want to play God like that, like, because it's been a whole big thing, like who decides what I thought whether people should vote on how we want it to work. The only thing I'll say on the karma system is there's a law called the law of equality. So that's the only thing. It won't allow you to say make a tree or an animal have more rights than have less rights than a human. So if you hurt an animal, you lose just as much karma as hurting a human. Or if you hurt nature, you lose just as much karma. But that's what's very important. Right now, you guys understand, but the rest of the population still think humans are more important than everything else on the planet, which is why we're in such a mess. And that's the whole point of this game, is that we need to make sure we're all equal. So we'll never allow people to vote people more important than animals or nature, because nature and animals need to be the same, exactly the same level we are. So that's the only hard-coded thing that I won't be allowed to change. And then the same thing for like I'll go back to karma. Karma type negative. Just preview of the code. Yeah. And that's just an example of negative things. You know, if you're abusive on social media or something, or disrespect people, because I'm planning to build a social. I didn't tell you this is a global healing app where you can heal people and you earn karma for that, and that's kind of uses the power of remote healing. And it's a gamifying remote healing, and then see people can earn karma that way. It's like a global healing network, and people can then say my animal's sick or a person's dying of cancer, and because we've already proved that we can heal people with like Greg Braden's shown people can heal tumors just for intention, and that's a way of bringing it all together, and then that's called Save a Life and a Global Healing Network. And then the next gen social network is a social network we're going to build on the avatar karma system on the OASIS API. And that's where things like if you help people on the social media, you earn karma, but if you're abusive or disrespectful to people, you lose karma. That's just two examples of apps we want to build. And it's been hard, guys, because I've had this in my head since 2013. I wanted to build a social network in 2013, but it's taken this long just to build this. Like that's supposed to be the preview, and then our world comes out after. It's supposed to be the social network and the healing app, and then it was going to be the our world, and then one world, and then the 4 OASIS. That was my plan. But maybe this is still part of it, because everything kind of takes longer than I think in 3D. And like I said, the world wasn't ready yet for this stuff, but now it's kind of ready. Yeah, that's it. So I'll let you guys talk. Any questions? And I'm done, I think, for today.
Yeah, I have a ton of questions because I've also been in this world for a while. And I'm so happy to see the code and how it's working. And as you know, I'm an information architect and user experience designer, and I'm working right now with Amber Gibson, Amber Sophia, you know her, or we're at least reviewing each other's work and helping each other get our work in better shape. And so I have a lot of questions, but my first question is, I see you have a bunch of identity providers. So you're basically able to integrate a lot of different identity schema, a lot of different app schema, and you saying things like, you know, the level of humans and animals are hard coded, what's the level of hard code and soft code that can be shifted when apps and different brands and people come on? Would they be white labeling, or will it just be they're going into the OASIS game and it's going to be this kind of thing? Because a lot of the people that I'm working with are creating their own metaverses for their own purposes, and they don't necessarily want to do the karma points. But I love that, and that's what our DAO that we've been writing is about. So this is really beautiful to see that. But can you tell me a little bit further about what hard code and soft code and how the changes of partners, because I have potential partners for you.
Oh yeah, it's very flexible engine, like you saw on the API. Like you're not forced to use the karma system. Like it's still kind of there, but you don't have to use it. Like you have this avatar single sign-on. There's all like separate modules. So each part is like pluggable modules or components, and you can switch the modules on and off, I guess. We can configure things to work like that. But the karma system and all the engine is all there, but it's up to the developer, like if they want to use it or not. You're not forced to use it. But the only thing is, the only rule I have is anyone who's using on the OASIS, it has to be for benevolent reasons. But purpose, you can't like build an app to sell machine guns to like school children, for example. You weren't allowed to do that, or sell cigarettes to 5-year-olds. That kind of thing, or flaming the rainforest or deforesting the rainforest. You won't be able to do anything like that on OASIS. So that's the only rules we have. Like as long as you're using it for good or to help people, or even like neutral is kind of okay, but it's better if it's helping people, but definitely not harming anyone or anything with nature.
So how are you going to assess that?
Say again?
How are you going to assess that?
I think we're just gonna have to sign an agreement. It's just gonna have to be a I don't know, contract or agreement. Like when they're building it, they have to sign that, and then we have the OASIS police. I guess we send Leo and Max around to we send the boys and girls. Yeah, we send around the galactic police, and we just check if you're doing the enforcers.
So we need a surveillance department. We're gonna end up being like Facebook. That's no good, because we're like supposed to be the opposite of this, right?
That's another problem I have is because for the karma system, like I spent years trying to figure out how stop people gaming the system, because I wanted, so when you drop litter in the park, how do you prove that, and how you prove that you picked up litter, like, and basically the best thing I can come up with is people have to take a picture and then of you doing that and then verify that. But I originally came up with all crazy schemes, like when you in the shop, everything's got a barcode. So when you scan a barcode, that links up that chocolate wrapper to your avatar. And then if someone finds that when they pick up litter, they're scanning that barcode and it's linked to you, they know you bought that chocolate bar. But then that's kind of getting a bit surveillance-y, because I'm like, well, it's linking everything you buy. It's tracking everything you buy. It's like, where you draw the line. This is what I've had a challenge with. I was like, in the end, you just got to use trust, like a trust net graph thing, like and just like go over the crowdsourcing, I think, and people like taking a picture and verifying. I think like scanning everyone's barcode. That's what the New World Order want to do. We don't want to do that. We don't want to track every single thing you're buying.
Well, that's also where you can have it modular at different partners are going to be doing different things. That's why we are looking at doing a DAO of DAOs, because there are, small mom and pop tech groups that are like trying to figure out how to plant a tree and get points for planting a tree, and how to pick up litter and getting points for picking up litter. So there's all these different DAOs popping up in different smaller organizations that are saying, I'm focusing on litter, I'm focusing on planting trees. So that's where we have to discover how to integrate the different groups, and that's why we are looking at DAOs within DAOs, so that we can interlink the DAOs in a way that can not only link the code, but link the business and link the intention.
Yeah, that's what I spoke to Max about. Like that's one of the things we're going to build a DAO soon on the actual OASIS API, and that's going to help build a DAO of DAOs, because it's going to be, because the OASIS API links everything together. So then if we have a DAO built on the OASIS API, it will integrate into every platform, every blockchain, and then you'll have a super DAO in a way. It'd be a new type of DAO, and it'd be a gamified karma-based DAO that's linked to everything. That's really, this is what I say about the use cases, the things that the OASIS API enables you to build now, the actual, now we're getting the business logic layer and the wallets and API, what you saw earlier, the wallets and keys, that's just one example of the power of it, how you can also replicate your keys across your local storage, so you never lose your keys again, and automatically backs up the keys privately and backs up your public ones to the remote stuff. And all the other stuff, like that, the things you can do, and Dell is another example. And then that's why I want to get it out there and see what the community start to build on this, because you can build all sorts of things. I was just given a really flexible, powerful engine, and I'm only thinking about a few things. I'm so like laser focused on just building the architecture, the engine. I haven't got time to step back and start thinking about how people could use this. This is why I'm now handing it over to community. So I'm hoping you guys can help start getting the word out there, and now we're going to do these demos weekly. Then we're going to do a hackathon and a boot camp, like a dev camp. We're going to build Lux here, like we're going to build his app volunteers, I can't pronounce, on OASIS API, and Mohan had a Vibe app, I think, as well, that we're going to build, and any other apps, so people can start building their own apps, and we can start doing like how we're going to follow a similar format to like Holochain do with dev camps. So just start getting it out there, and people can start building on it, and then we're going to start get a lot more ideas and things, because I can only come up with so much on my own. It's like once you hand it over to community, that's when the real magic happens, when everyone starts jumping in and getting involved. So I'm hoping that can start happening now. So that's why I kind of forced myself to go public. I still didn't feel I was ready to do this yet, but I think I've done the right thing just to get it out there so people can start building some stuff on there and just start seeing it actually in real life being used. That would be great.
Yeah, because, I just want to say one more thing and then I'll let go. Sorry. I just want to say that also, yes, I created a system that would help, reputation system in 2008 that would go really well with this. And it's exactly the karma points, but based on health consciousness and based on human embodiment. And I can share that with you at some point. I did share it in Awaken Dream Synergy in the early days. I don't know if you were there, and a lot of people didn't understand it. But I have specifications and things like that that go very well with the karma points. And I call it an omniverse as well. Because
Cool.
it's about omni intelligence. It's not about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is asking, AI to come up with intelligence, and omni intelligence is humanity coming up with the intelligence. So it's like a knowledge base and the semantic web. So
yeah, that sounds like meant to build anything. You got anything word omni in or omniverse, and that sounds like it's kind of meant to be part of the omniverse. Definitely. We're all challenging bits. That's the thing that we're realizing, like, because Denise, more than anyone, like we all got different pieces, like because we all downloading different parts of this new like human operating system or organism, like you said before, and we all build different parts of it, and now we're starting to see how they plug together, because I only got part of it. Like I think I've got the heart and the blood, like I said, because it's like the thing that connects everything together, and maybe the soul for the karma thing, and other people got other parts of it, and we all got to plug these bits together. And now it's Master Builder year. I think this is when we start plugging it together, and I had to build all this to enable that. So now the engine is ready to be used, and now we can start plugging in more stuff. But I still need massive resources. That's why I'm so starved of resources. This is why I'm doing this, so we can finally get people to jump in, the open source developers, and hope we get more funding. Because you can see it's a massive, this project's massive, and it's been crazy what I've had to try and do on my own, and it's ridiculous. This is way bigger than anything I'll project out there, holochain or blockchain, anything, because this is everything. It's trying to plug in. The scope is like design something that can connect everything to everything and can be used for anything and can be scaled infinitely. And we're like, how do you build that? The universe showed me, but I'm still limited by a 3D body with health needs, and I can't. There's only so many hours in a day, so like I can only build so much. But I think I built enough of the back end blueprint now to give people inspiration and ideas how to then build it more, and help me, because I really do need help, especially the UI, because we need to really start to show how this can be used. You've seen what the back end can do. Now we need to really get the UI stuff, get apps built on this, and games, apps, services, plug in other providers, anything. So yeah, anyway, I'll shut up now. You guys talk. I've talked enough today.
Yeah, David, I just wanted to clarify for Leah and Denise that we've talked about it before. You prefer the light, correct? So therefore, people can earn bad karma on your game. However, if they're going to run an application, they have to fulfill the terms in your, using your tech of using it for beneficial purposes. Is that correct?
Yeah, because it can be like, yeah, it should be anything that's helping the world, but it can be neutral. If it's neutral, then that's where the karma system really comes in. But then the karma system kind of helps the neutral side. So then it's a social network or something. Then you can use the karma system, like saying, for doing good, for rewarding good actors in a DAO as well. And if you're good actors in a DAO, they get good karma. And if you don't engage all the bad actors, then they lose the karma. It's like the reputation system that Sid, Sacred Capital's doing in Holochain. I think Thomas will know about that as well. It's kind of like, and I'm going to be plugging into that too. But yeah, it's a neutral or doing good. But I really don't want to give it to people like, well, Facebook or
right,
or people fracking or drilling oil in the Middle Ocean and things. I don't really want them to use it because I don't really.
Just so everyone knows, I invited Satish. He's a CTO from Nepal. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, nice Satish. Yeah, another one of my long-term supporters. Hi, Satish.
So David, you mentioned gene keys in your text. Is that from the Gene Keys, the book?
Yeah, this thing, the avatar is supposed to encapsulate the digital twin of you, so it needs to be. And it's spiritual. It's disclosure, but we don't market it as spiritual, but it is spirituality through the back door. That's what the whole point of this is. It's ascension technology. So yeah, human design and gene keys, and you saw the.
I have a question about that.
Avatar chakra. Yes, it's helped everyone because I'm building this engine so that you guys can build the content. Because I built the architecture, the scaffolding, and you guys have the Lego bricks that plug into it. Like I built the tree trunk, and you're all the branches. So I can't build it all. What I've shown you is just examples, but you can all extend it and add to it because it's an engine. So you can just come in and build it, and eventually, when stars finish, it's a 4th generation language. So then you don't need to be a developer, and you can actually build the OASIS without coding. You can actually build new modules for it, like in Minecraft kind of style, and then just upload it, and then you have a new module. And that's what I visioned for this for a long time. Yeah. Sorry, your question. So.
Just, I have to leave very soon, but it's incredibly interesting, and I'm new to pretty much everybody here, right? I'm so happy to be part of this, and I'm not a developer. In fact, I'm here because I'm working on a on-land model that's called the OASIS, and like basically almost like Ayurveda for eco villages or for eco oasis spaces. And I would love to connect that. If this really goes ahead, it would be so beautiful to just connect the seeding of real spaces with this game basically. And like I wrote in the chat as well, I also work with voiceover, and I'm happy to offer that should that ever be needed. But I'm curious, you mentioned the gene keys, and I'm kind of surprised, but also positively so. So I would love to know, how did you envision implementing that? And in terms of the timeline and the relevance of, for example, where other people come in that are not developers, just so that I would know, maybe there would be a meeting that is only between the developers. Maybe there would be a meeting that's more so inclusive of other themes that might be relevant to me. And I would be very much happy to join, but just also to be a bit more aware, like maybe you can give me like an overview or a specific timeline, and with like invitations to events that are, yeah, not only about the developmental part, and also I feel to respect everybody here who's like working on that side.
Yeah, so thanks for bringing that up. That's good point, because this is why I realized when I came to Mexico, and I was working on a eco village in the jungle, not far from where Lear is actually. That's where the office is based, where Lear is, in Crucicita, I think it's pronounced. And then and basically I realized then I got a download that the OASIS is the architecture, the network that connects with eco villages together. Right now we're all separated and we're not really coordinating together. The OASIS is like a network, our own network, and we can connect all these eco villages and then sense make between them all and coordinate, and then use VR for training and make everything work more efficiently together. Because each eco village is a little oasis. It's a little, because it's a world of darkness we're going into, but more and more. And each eco village is a template for the new earth, and each is like a little oasis bubble. And I see in my vision all these little oasis bubbles, like little campfires around the world, and then we join them all together, and then we create more campfires, and then each one grows and grows, and eventually it encompasses the whole earth, and then the whole earth is covered in light. So it starts right now with the little eco villages and the little mini oasis bubbles, I call them. So yeah, that'd be really, that's why I want help grounding, because the eco village we're working with, and then Leah has some as well. And I know many people now building eco villages, and we combine our networks, we're going to get this oasis architecture in there, and then we can gamify it. We're going to gamify it like a farm wheel, like a real life farm wheel. So like when you work on eco village and you plant and you're growing your vegetables, or you're gaining karma, and then we can like do like training, and like it's like a template, because then we can then roll that template out worldwide. We kind of use it as a use case. So I think Mexico is really important. A lot of stuff's happening in Mexico. We seem to all be coming here, and then we're kind of like beta testing the new Earth in Mexico. But it's happening everywhere. But I just know what I'm aware of. All the people I'm working with, they kind of seem to be gravitating towards Mexico. So I don't know about timelines. You know, it's so hard to predict, but it's definitely this year. Like this is the first phase, getting it out there, get the developers to start building on it. And it's a thing called the Our World Movement. That's what I got ambassadors on my Discord. I can maybe drop the link on here, but I think I sent it before. A Discord server, and on there, the developers are on there, but it's for people to start to and we've got a Telegram group as well, but on the actual Discord is better channels, and there's one called the Our World Movement, and you can become an unwelled ambassador, a bit like C's, and your job is to go out there and start doing meetups, that, you know, and we start talking about our world and how we can use technology to help people, and how we can ground it and get it into real life. So I'm working with Gorilla Gang, Grateful Giraffes, is it, and Tulum Coin, and that's how we ground it into Tulum. And in Mexico, there are people who like using blockchain to help the environment, exactly the same thing I'm doing. And so I'm kind of the integration gamification expert, like working with those, I'm partnered with them. So that's how we're going to, like start grounding it. So everyone else has got any ideas to help, and Leo has as well. I'm sure you all have like different places we can start actually integrating this. But what we really need to do is start building the apps on it, so we can have some use cases, so people can actually start to play with it, because people don't understand Postman or Swagger so much. That's
Exactly.
more for the developers.
That's right. Once we have something that we can show the world, then it will be much easier. For example, we work with clean technologies in the real world. So we have technologies that people can actually use in their home, in their business, and like completely futuristic technologies. You'd think you're in a science fiction movie, but actually we have the technology already, and it's ready to deploy. It's just that there's very little coverage of this. And so it would be really good to think about a way of how we can bridge OASIS into the integration of these technologies as well. And I'm not talking about AI, I'm talking about technologies that are non-AI, that are completely safe to use, and that help you, for example, recycle your water at home, or grow your food at home. And so all kinds of resilience technology that is actually needed right now, very much needed, because the world is going to be faced with a huge challenge very soon. It started already, and we have to get ready as soon as possible. So that's why I really want to get people on board of this. You know, I want to get people on board of OASIS as well, but we need to have a front end, something that people can actually understand. And so that's, I wonder if you have a date, like specific dates in which we might have the front end, or something to show the world.
Yeah,
that everybody can understand.
I'll just check my blog, on a blog post. I can't remember what day, when it was now. Let me just check. On that blog post, I had a schedule basically when I announced these demos. I think it's in a few weeks' time, because I think next week is data or providers, and then I think it's like probably it's going to be like 3 to 4 weeks before I do the demo. But the actual thing will be ready before then. If I can, this is why I need some React developers. If you know any open source or cheap React developers who know what they're doing, send them my way, because this is the problem right now. I'm using cheap freelancers who you get what you pay for, and it's been a real challenge because of like I said to Max the other day, like you remember, I was just like they've been working this for 6 months, and then they kind of stop working, like they're working on 4 projects at once, and then they still haven't got the login working, and I wanted to demo it today, and I said, right, we've got to do it in modules, so it's too big anyway to show it all in one session, so it kind of gives a bit more time.
Not building with you, because it would be good to have a few programmers that are full-time, and
yeah, that's the thing. I haven't got
most likely they're going to ask for some private equity or something.
This is what I need. I
They
haven't
will
got
be
one.
building
This is
the
how
process
crazy it
with
is. I haven't got one full-time developer. Like I've got Farha is a tech lead and he's part-time. He's just come back like about a few weeks ago. But I've been on my own for the last 6 months again. But most people know I've been working on my own, crying out for help for about the last 4 years. When I went public with this. But I think the universe is just testing me. It's part of the Superman journey. I'm supposed to be my fortress of solitude, like learning trust and surrender and divine timing and patience. But now that's why I'm doing these demos and getting it out there, because it's time for developers to really jump on board, like the open source developers, but also to get more funding, because then we're going to start applying for grants to all the different blockchains. We're eligible for so many blockchain grants, all the things we're integrating. And then also helping the environment, helping animals, helping autistic children, helping everyone. We're eligible with so much freaking funding. We have billions of funding waiting. We just need people to go out and apply
We
for it.
need to show investors something.
I'm still waiting.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's
like
what we need.
People are not going to give money like that. Even if the idea is great, they need to see what we've been working on, or what they need to see something. They need to see a product. They need to see something that will give them that confidence. Because anybody can come and say, "Hey, I want to build this spaceship to go to freaking Venus or something," and then, okay, but how? Do you have the skills? Do you have the team? Do you have all of that? So that's what investors look at. And so that's why I would say, like, to maybe offer the guys who are already working on this, maybe some private equity or something, or what would it take for them to actually embark on board?
I've tried.
Like,
you have no idea what I've been through. Like Max will tell you how traumatic it's been. Ridiculous. I have tried every single thing, and it's been a battle because it's dark inside. I'm not going to get negative now, but they've been interfering and blocking me. Every single thing, it's been block, and I've been talking to a brick wall. And so if you guys can fucking do something to make it happen, because I'm done with it. I'm just coding, and if you guys can get people to help me, then great, because I've done my bit, and I feel I've done my part, and I've made my deal.
Well, but you're still the decision maker.
And people want to help me, great. If they don't, then we just keep going, and hopefully we'll save the planet in time. That's
Can
really
you
how I
give
feel.
If I may.
Yeah, you speak first. I saw you raise your hand before.
David, by the way, the question was, how are you going to apply gene keys to your text?
I
think that's a valid question. I can answer a question. I don't know how David will apply it, but I myself feel that it's lacking some context, because it's basically based on the I Ching, and so there's light code involved. And so I'm a light code programmer. I deal with DNA, and it relates to etymology and syntax, speech, lexicon, paradigm, all these things. So I think what needs to be done is we need a reflection of how to graph our experiences throughout our life, which affects the gene keys. And we can do that through the Trinity, which is part of what the gene keys represents. And so it's about turning on more DNA. And like David's saying, when we do this in the infinite reality, then you essentially become a time traveler, or you control the weather, or you start fires with a thought, right? So that's kind of the excitement about it, because, you know, the world we live in now is just interpreting all this junk DNA as not there for any reason, but it's actually simply the shadow version of what these gene keys are, which essentially connects with the amino acids and, you know, all these chemical, physical processes that relate to how we interpret our own experiences in life. And so I think from my point of view, I would suggest David apply something like that, because he's essentially mirroring reality. And so I imagine that the intent being that when we enlighten ourselves in this game, it also translates to the infinite reality, which we're already in. So
yeah, good answer. That's good. Nice for summing it up. But basically, yeah, like it's our world. The first version is a geolocation AR game, and there's some gene keys in there. But it'd be when we get to one world, which is the MMO RPG. That's the first person VR version, which VR is optional. That's when you have like it's like ascension training technology. That's when you really start to build things, and a bit like Minecraft. Imagine a 3D Minecraft building stuff, but you're actually learning gene keys and yoga, meditation, mindfulness. But through the back door, it's not marketed as that, but you're doing different quests and things like leveling up. And when you're in, and even in our world, it gets you into parks doing doing treasure hunts and building your leadership and team building skills and having face-to-face interactions instead of being stuck in your bedroom. Like it's getting people to connect with nature and hugging trees and picking up litter. These are all things that we like, working on your gene keys and human design. And it has a thing called machine learning. It has AI in it as well. And and it's kind of like your guide. Your higher self is your guide, and they kind of guide you through the game. And that is how you kind of get the gene keys as well. It kind of like figures out because when you start, it has your date of birth and everything. So it has all your charts, and then it learns you, and it makes recommendations, and then it will like say, oh, it's nice weather today. Why don't, and your friends in the local area, why don't you go to the park and do some yoga? Like, and it's like gamifying reality to help level you up. And then it'll go, right, and if you go to McDonald's, you lose karma, and it'll go, oh, why don't you go to a Pret? A Pret's only like 5 minutes around the corner. It's like your friend. Imagine a friend talking to you, a bit like Jarvis in Iron Man, like talking to you, having a conversation with this AI guide, which is your higher self. And then eventually, when you get to level 33, the Temple of Truth quest becomes available, and you go into the Temple of Truth, and then it reveals the truth to you that everything you've been doing in this game is real. This is the game of life. Our world isn't just a game. It is actually reality. Like this is a game inside a game. It's a fractal holonic technology, like a universe inside a universe. And everything you learn in this game is actually how real life works. And now you're ready, because now you're 33 is master level. You're now ready to level up to the next level, and then you start unlocking teleportation and levitation and flying. It's like a yogi. It's like gamifying. It's like a gamified yogi journey in a way as well. It's a hero's journey, the superhero's journey. It's so many things. It's so hard to describe, but you imagine the scope of it's massive. This is why we need billions and billions of resources. Because to build this, it's going to take a lot of resources.
It's going to happen, David. Don't worry. There's trillions of dollars.
Teeny aspect. What you see is just a teeny piece of it. It's like the back end. Yeah. And then but to build a front end, it's like massive. It's why I focus on the back end architecture.
Yeah.
And now, yeah. So I got a question.
Both of us.
Hi.
I might just say goodbye actually, but I also wanted to say the Gene Keys has the pulse calendar that has these kind of weekly, not exactly weekly, but weekly cycles of different collective themes of humanity, where maybe people could be made more aware of what the shadow patterns might be on a mental level and on an experiential level, and what the lessons might be, what higher frequencies we might be able to step into. And I think the game could actually introduce even an alternative calendar as well, because the Gregorian calendar that we're dealing with is just so out of sync with what's actually turning our DNA.
Yep.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
That's one of the things my Chris Iron Man, basically he's building the HoloWeb. But when we worked together in Bali, he had a new calendar which is based on, I think it's based on the pulse calendar, and it's based on the lunar cycle and the cycles of the planets. So we can integrate that, because we're both channel stuff. We're like galactic master builders, and we channel this stuff, and then we do different parts, and we don't know what we're going to use it for. But now that it's like funny you say that, because he built that part so we can use it. But we were using it just for ourselves. We didn't want to work with Monday to Friday, so we worked on a different calendar when we were working together. And yeah, and then so we can now use that in the game. But this is what I'm saying. David? Thank you, because you all got the content. You all have the content. Like I've only built the architecture. I've got lots of bits of the game, but you guys have most of it, because all the light workers are meant to come and build on this game. That's the vision I had. I'm building the engine, and everyone else comes and builds their content on it. So
David, I wanted to ask you. You've seen the ship, right? The ship program that we're building.
Ship.
Shift.
So.
Like
shift.
Shifting,
oh yeah,
know?
shift.
Yeah.
Shift. Yeah.
Yes. I will share a video here, because we have videos that are like 20 seconds, just to let people know what it is. But basically it's a program, an application, and I wonder if we can build it on OASIS directly, because our people are building it right now normally, just normal application. But if we can build it on it, that would be amazing, because it's basically a resilience program. It's meant to prepare humanity to make the shift, the transition. Yeah. So we teach them everything from yoga, meditation to permaculture classes, growing your food at home, recycling your water, recycling your stuff at home, everything pretty much to make you 100% autonomous, sustainable, and connect with each other. So for communities, it's great because let's say if you choose to focus on growing tomatoes in your backyard. That's fine. You can connect with other people who are growing something else and you can trade. So we're teaming up with this other company. They're pretty amazing. They have the first the first food training, food and all kinds of products trading a platform in the world. So these guys are in the US and they built this already. So I wonder if we can get, if there is a way for us to connect all these things together to help with what's coming, especially if we can have access to a decentralized platform, decentralized internet with its own satellites and its own power. Because I'm in Mexico right now and we're like frontline with climate change. You know, we just had a hurricane not too long ago. It destroyed pretty much all the Pacific coast. And now there's another one coming. They issued another warning. And so this is going to be just the new reality. We can't avoid it. We just have to get used to it and build resilience. So, and it's super urgent. It's really, really urgent. And they're not letting people know because they want people to die, literally. They want to this planet to be completely, you know, reduce the population. And so this has been a goal that they have for a long time, and they see climate disaster as something of the sort. So how can we build these applications and these tools for human resilience and survival on OASIS? Or is it too soon to talk about something like this?
Great question.
I think we can start. That's why now we can start building, because I know the back end's there. That's what I tried to show you. So it's basically got the power to first of all remove all silos. Everything's in silos. It's unity consciousness expressed in the technical sphere. So basically, it gets people to start connecting all these different platforms together. So that architecture is ready that you saw, and it's got the avatar karma system, and it's got loads of stuff already there, but it can be added, more can be added to it. So I've tried to build a very flexible system. So now it's time for the rest of the community and developers to start building the front end and start like building it out basically. And that's why I want to start building Luck Lights thing on a live holochain, dev camp kind of thing. And any more, so you guys can help. That's why I need help with the community. That's why I've got a Discord server. I think you've got the link to the Discord server, haven't you already? But that's why you see on there, if you go on there, you see there's loads of channels that I've created stuff ready to try to build this movement, to try to get the non-technical stuff happening, meetings and ideas, and to get people to start coming on board, because the OASIS is so massive. It's so many sub-projects and components inside it, and Our World and One World are just the two first ones, and then you've got all the other OAPs, because Our World and One World are just examples of OAPs, OASIS applications, the first planets, because the star can create planets, moons, and galaxies and universes, and these are just the first two planets of the whole omniverse. So it's massive. Like, and I need other people to come along and put their worlds into it. So we want to plug into all the other different metaverses and all the other partners, because people are building like Togetherland, and you got all the other ones, and you got the Game of Seeds, CivX. I think you guys are aware of, like, Denise probably know all these, and we want to and Ozone. So you said we're all in separate silos. We're all inside one giant omniverse, because omniverse is the thing that connects all the metaverses together. So that's what we need help, like building. It's a great thing we start plugging the OASIS into the back end of CivX and into Game of Seeds and things, because they've already got the UI. They've had the more resources. Lucky them, they had the devs to build it, and like we're getting there. Like like Our World's halfway there, and One World needs to start now. We need to get Unreal developers right now, because we really need to start building this quickly, and that's why I'm doing these demos, because then we need to get the millions and billions of funding now. So I think it's all going to happen, so I'm not worried. It's like, you know, the universe knows what it's doing, and I'm doing my best. So yeah, the answer is yes. Let's do it all now, and let's get going, please. Everyone.
Yeah, David, volunteers will help you with that. As we've talked about in the past, it's essentially, you know, growth hacking. So, you know, Google, Facebook, you know, all the big ones, Amazon, they're just growth hackers. That's just growth hacking. You know, you put a product and a purchaser together and you get a little cut. That's all growth hacking. So essentially, you know, in the OASIS, people are going to gamify it. You know, they're going to plot and strategize and find their way to get the most good karma possible, right? So I look forward to doing that with your program because, you know, I will recommend all volunteers to, you know, utilize your Karma system because that's what volunteers do. You know, we're about all kinds of side hustles together, you know, all as one. It just all automates, it all replicates, super easy, you know, don't even need to know how it works, just utilize it, right? Pure utility, pure function, right? That's what we're looking for. And so, you know, it's essentially in game without even starting, you know, the fight, right? It's a done deal. Yeah. So yeah, I agree though. You know, people want to see something, they want to see how it works and everything. So it'll take some time, but once you get there and people know that, you know, it's safe and it works and it's something they can utilize for their own benefit, you know, I think they'll really be on board. And I think, you know, there'll be a lot of excitement and investment and people, you know, will want their OLANs and think of all the different things, you know, they can create out there. So, you know, I just want to remind you that, you know, big pictures, keep an eye on the end game, right? The end game is it all gets better and we're all there together and we're celebrating.
Yeah, right? It's getting there. That's why I said to Max the other day, is like we're building the Life Star, you know, like it's the opposite of the Death Star. And like that isn't a small project. That is literally what we're building. Everyone else has got these little scout ships or hype ships, I call them, zooming around and hype, look at me, make a lot of loud noises, but they haven't got any firepower. They're like weak armor. They're like little gnats basically flying around. And eventually the Light Star, which is like the Death Star, comes online and goes, right, now we'll show you how it's done. And then fire the love beam. And love beam creates planets and moons and galaxies, and then it's the real deal. But it takes a lot longer to build the mothership. You know, the Light Star on the mothership, like it isn't small, and especially when you just got one guy working on the mothership, hammering away with his little hammer every day. Like it's to take a long time to build a mothership like that. But now hopefully I've shown you half of the mothership, like in Star Wars, and you see half completed Death Star. I've shown you the half built bit. And now people can jump on and get the other half finished quickly, and then we can start to create new galaxies and universes, and we create a better world. But I try. It's all part of the divine plan, you know. So it's going to celebrate. You're right. It's going to now. This is the year. This is the year it really starts to celebrate. Which is why the angels pushed me to do this demo today. I didn't feel I was ready yet, and like it's a lot there. But I'm a perfectionist, and I don't want to show people until it was ready and have the UI and everything else and providers fully working. But it's all like 99%. They're like that's you know in IT 99% everything slows down. The last 1% is the hardest, and I've been in 99% for ages to do this demo. I thought I was going to do this demo like a year and a half ago, but now we're there. So that's why over the next few weeks you'll be seeing it working with the providers. You see it replicating data across the blockchains. You'll see the web UI. We'll create an avatar, actually logging in. And it's all there, like it's on staging, and I just got to kick the developers' butts because I have to like have a go at them, and I have to like keep finding other devs. I've got other devs coming in, and they want $20-40 an hour, and right now we can't afford that budget. So the other devs I'm paying $1 an hour, $2 an hour, but you get what you pay for, and that's the problem. And they kind of working on 20 other projects at once, and the communication they take 4 days to reply to a thing. And I tell them to fix a login, and they're like still figuring out how to do that. And this is my dream is to have full-time dedicated professionals who are actually like, you know, real professionals who are, but have to pay $20-30 an hour for those developers. You know, we need a big budget. So we need 100, 500 grand, $1 million budget now, and then we can really accelerate. So that's
I've been wanting to speak to this for a little while, and I keep on putting it in the chat. So you keep on saying, I need developers. What's happening is there are teams that you can partner with that already have developers or would buy or pay for developers that are, you know, good enough to interact with your system. And so that's what, you know, my teams would like to do is they would prefer a partnership. And I also know potential developers that might be able to learn. You said Project Reactor is what you need. Can you say what you need so I can look for that or maybe make recommendations to some developers to potentially look at that? Is that what you say you need? Is that just an answer? Project Reactor?
Did you say Product Reactor? Was that a website you can get developers?
No, what kind of developers do you need?
Oh, right, sorry. You meant React.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry, yeah.
React.
Oh, yeah. We need React for the web UI, and we need Unity for our world, and we need Unreal for One World. one world is the MMORPG, the real Oasis. That's the Omniverse. We need Unreal developers for that, and we need Unity developers to finish the our world geolocation AR game. And that's like the Pokemon Go game. That's been working on that for like years as well, and that's like half done. So we have got stuff to show for that. That's the thing. I'm trying to get a demo of that. So we're very close. So it is like on a positive. It is the back end's there. The web UI is about 90% done, and our world is about halfway done. But we can do a demo of that. I have got a demo video, but I didn't release it because it wasn't good enough for me yet. But I think I'm just going to start releasing some more of the our world game, because it's not really playable yet, but there's different components of building, just like the Oasis. It's different cogs we're building, but we've got to put the cogs together, and then it's when you, but then you know how in IT it takes the last 1%, like I said, takes a while before you got something that actually works, and it's not, you know, it's getting there. So it was a lot has been done, shit has been done, but there's still so much more to do. But like we're that close now to actually starting to really show the world more things. So this is what these demos are. As we're starting with the back end, and we're going to build up to the UI. So in a few weeks we're going to show the UI, and then hopefully a few weeks after that we can show our world. And then one world there isn't nothing yet because they haven't started building that. But hopefully from these demos we'll get the resources to really start building the rest of it. And then it's going to go really fast. It has to go fast because we've got to get it done quick.
Would you be willing to connect with more other backends that want to, you know, extend into your system and you know, want to have some capabilities that are more backend oriented?
Yeah, I said that as well. C# developers to build more providers. So we've got like those providers you saw in the demo, but I don't know if you saw the long list of ones to implement. We've got loads of them. I think I posted it the other day. And like we need someone to help finish Holochain as well, because that's just been stuck for a year and a half. And Connor has been helping me with that guy in Holochain community. But we need someone just dedicated. We need people just dedicated to the providers. Right now, it's all just here and there. But we need people to right, this is your job. Because I've got developers we're trying to hire, but all the C# developers have been useless. There's only one guy we found, Farhar, my hero, and he's a part-time guy in Eastern Europe. And he works like a few hours, I think like 20 hours what's he doing? I don't know, 10, 15 hours a week. And but he's really good, but it's just me and him. But we need loads of C# backend developers to help build out the rest of the providers and the core architecture as well. But mainly it's the providers to plug in more stuff. Because the more things to plug into the Oasis, the more powerful it becomes, the more it starts to really shine. That's another reason I didn't do this demo yet, because I wanted to show you the providers and the auto-replication and the failover, because otherwise it just looks like another like normal avatar authentication service. Like it doesn't really show it, but most of the work has gone into the integration, the interoperability. And just so you know, we just integrated the wallets, and now we can send transactions and NFTs. Farhar's just finished that bit. So now we can send NFTs and transactions between the providers. So we've got Solana, EOS, Ethereum talking to each other. And then very soon we're going to do smart contract interoperability. So you can call into different smart contracts across different blockchains. And then we're going to build a UI to that, a plug and play 4th generation. We've got loads of things that no one's done yet. Like, because I channeled this so long ago, and people are starting to get an idea of it. But if we can move fast, that's why I'm so desperate to speed up, because we can really blow people's minds. And it's so close now. You know how it is with something. It's behind the scenes for a long time, and suddenly now it's when you start to see things move fast, because all the groundwork I've done, I built the back end, so the next layers are quick to build. The magic layers are much faster to build because I've done all the groundwork. I built the foundations, very solid foundations on the skyscraper, but I've been digging deep for so long and building those foundations for the last 3 years. And now you start to see the skyscraper go up pretty quick. You're not going to building. You see them digging and building for ages, and you don't see nothing for a while. You just see a lot of mud and diggers zooming around. And then suddenly you start to see the infrastructure come up. That's exactly where the Oasis is. It's just about to come up now. It's just starting to build the 1st and 2nd floors.
But do you know what I mean? Like I've been in other incubators that might want to be more parallel with you, like in partnership, not just hired.
Yeah. Anything. I'm open to everything. The whole point of this is the more collaborators can get the better. That's the whole point. It's all a community.
Do you have that? Great. Do you have that piece that you just spoke up of written up anywhere, or just Max, about how your interoperability between which systems and things like that? Is that the thing that you were showing? Because I have some people specifically that I want to speak to potentially introduce you to, because I would like us for them to work on your system. And right now they want to hire me to work solely on their system, but I want to be more interoperable. I want to be ubiquitous. And they have a specific identity system, and they've also been working in global villages for a long time. So that's what I've been doing for front end design and looking at different kind of front end scheme. So all the ideas, and I've been looking at this kind of stuff for a long time, but as a how the user will interact, or how the seeker and the contributor will interact with the data, and so that we can become more embodied and feeling good. So that's the part. I love seeing what Leah has. It looks really amazing. That looks very similar. All of us are in the same boat. That's my personal interest. But the incubators that I know, they have more of a different interest, which is like proving that you're actually a human and that you're not a robot, and like digital identities around the world and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely interested in integrating all those things. This is exactly what I built it for. You know, if you know, but I'm all about partnering. That's the whole point of OASIS. It's the thing that bringing everyone together. It's the super glue that plugs us all together. So and now, but people didn't take it seriously because it wasn't. You know, before I wasn't ready yet because I was trying to like put was it the cart before the horse is the saying, and I had to build it first, and they kept saying build it and they will come. And now I've built it, and now I think people are going to start to come more. That's why that's why I was forcing myself to do these demos to start to get more public.
Yeah,
and I got Leah and Max helping me as well, because Max is about finishing the new website and white paper and pitch deck. And maybe Max could speak about that a bit more. So you think most people haven't had a chance to speak much yet. So like, yeah. So I want Max to speak a bit because most people are left now. Sorry, man. Like it's a lot of people to try to talk. but yeah. So he can talk about that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's what David said. I've been building the website and the white paper, and trying to basically crystallize a lot of this stuff and tie it together. So hopefully it will act as a way of bringing a lot of these other satellites and people with ideas creatively into this project, and bringing it together. I think it's just a question of tying everyone up. Well, not tying everyone up, but letting people express themselves, but doing it in a way that fits in with the OASIS API. So it's what I came on to do, and it's going well. I imagine in the coming weeks we'll do a walkthrough of it. But of course, the website is something you can literally just scroll through, so it can post a link in whatever channel as well. And there will also be links to, I don't know, the Discord and all that kind of stuff that we're already part of. But hopefully it will also be a catalyst to generate some more of these conversations with funding and bringing more people on board. But, it's a website. I don't know, there's not much more to say about it than just that. But,
You're muted, David.
Oh, sorry. This is it's pretty connection because we're in the same place. We're in the same place in Tulum, but like it's Mexican Wi-Fi for you. But they're back. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it just like cut out, like mic drop kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, I finished my point anyway. So yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, yeah, thanks, Max. Like, basically, so that's why the whole point. Like, we've been working with Mohan and Max and Lucklight, and we're like Nick and a few others. We're like an ICO like steering group, and we're all building up to doing this ICO, and people are interested in. And that's one thing I want to talk about soon as well. Is like how to do maybe some pre-sales because people want to invest now, and maybe people get some mints and tokens before we do the ICO. But anyway, the point.
David.
Oh
yeah. On that note, what you just said earlier about integrating cross-chain interoperability, I'm as someone who is not a dev but a crypto investor, not sure you recognize how huge that is. Like, you probably should have started this demo off with that part, because that's something that huge, multinational crypto firms are working on. Like, they want that.
What part again? The interoperability between
right.
between the.
And you're talking about blockchains, and then you're talking about smart contracts interoperable.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
I know this has all been like not the obvious stuff we needed for years, but it's just been, you know, seeing the design in your head is one thing, but trying to build it, it's like it's so much. But that's why we're getting to the magic layer now, because the architecture has enabled us to start doing these things, and then that's when we start going into Star, which then can generate code for smart contracts as well. A 4th generation smart contract generator. I designed that as well. But this is why I want resources, because I can't build this on my own. I'm like a designer, architect. I can design it, but I need people to build the cogs. You know, I can see the full blueprint, but I need developers. I need like a lot of developers, because these are, like you're saying, people who've got millions of funding trying to build these things, and we're just trying to. It's just crazy. Right. We're trying to do all this stuff with like nothing. It's just like, yeah. Oh, anyway, I'm staying positive.
Well, that's why I follow your work, David, because you're modeling after nature. You're modeling after universal law and natural law and all these good things. Now, as you just pointed out, though, these are not being utilized in society, right? These inefficiencies that we've experienced up till this point, you know, on the verge of Web3 cresting into the mainstream, right? Like your stuff is beyond, because you're shooting for a higher goal, right? There's a higher goal involved. And so that's important. And yeah, I agree. Like when you get closer to eliminating inefficiencies of all the current blockchain systems, yeah,
I can't
a whole
stand
new
blockchain.
world's open up.
I can't stand blockchain. You know how I feel about it. I find Web3 dirty. I find it dirty. I find it like when it's like Max and Mohan, they had to force me to come back to Web4. Even Web4 is like boring to me now. And like, but Web3 is like, ugh. But when I was developing the wallet avatar, the wallet stuff, like I enjoyed it, but it's freaking tedious. I was just like, oh, and I had to research Bitcoin and the wallets and the private public key stuff. And I know I had to do it because it's good to integrate, but it was so like, oh my God. And then I see what everyone else is doing. And when I start reading these blockchain websites, I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, and that's one of my gifts, is that I see things from a bird eye view. I see things from like a higher dimension, a higher perspective. It's hard to explain. It's like looking in from the outside, where everything else is inside this little box, like the blockchain. They're in like a box, and I'm running around like headless chickens, like doing all this crazy stuff. And then the solution is quite simple. You just step back from the box, get outside the box. This is the gift of autism, and we just see a much easier way of doing things. And then I just channel, and I just see it from like the angelic realm. I just see it from a higher. It's hard to explain, you know what I mean? But I just see it from the outside looking in, and it's just like, well, why don't you just do this and this? And that's what the OASIS is designed to do. It's like, rather than trying to overcomplicate things, all these different blockchains, it's like the OASIS was built from the ground up to be mass interoperability, to mass integrate everything, and to be used for every possible use case the world could ever have. That was what is the design goal of it was, which is pretty big goal. But I didn't even know what the goal was. I was just started channeling this stuff. And now I understand why I've been building what I've been building. Like when Max was talking about the internet kill switch and other things, and I start understanding why it's got the redundancy, why it's got the failover, why it's got the inability to shut the OASIS down. It can't be censored, it can't be controlled. Like it can't, even if Ethereum got compromised or Holochain got compromised, the OASIS still wouldn't be shut down. It can't be stopped. Like you have to blow up the internet, like it literally, because it replicates to anything it can replicate to. And I just see simple solutions to it. It's hard to explain. It's still complex, but the way I see it, it's hard to explain how I see it. I just saw like how we can just get everything, the base layer is just get everything talking to each other, rather than everyone was like in a silo. And only now Cosmos and Polkadot and Morales has started thinking about, oh, maybe we should get things to integrate, and it's kind of like an afterthought, you know. It's like, and then the blockchains weren't designed to do that, where the OASIS was designed from day one to be like a generic engine platform to allow everything and anything to talk to each other. So it wasn't like saying I had to like change. It was like always designed to do that, and that's when it's like you said, it's going to start to shine now, because it's like all that hard work over the last few years is going to be worth it, because it takes longer initially to get it to market, because it's trying to do everything. But now it will start to build up the actual use cases of the apps. Now you start to see the power, and these apps can do things that nothing else can do. And these apps will be future-proof. They're better to run on everything, and they're better to access data from everyone, and anyone, any account on any blockchain can import into your app, like everything. You know, you got the logins when you got, you know, when you log into something, you get like your Facebook or Google, or you can use
Right.
the OASIS is going to have something like that, and it'll be everything. It'll be any credential you have, or public private key or wallet or Web 2 or Web 3 authentication you have will work, like, because it's plugged into everything. Like, so we won't need any more like copies of freaking all different logins. You just have one login, and that's just one teeny aspect of it. Because when you base it on nature as unity consciousness, like you basically you get the benefits of unity consciousness, and that is by everything working together. There's no more silos. And then you use the best of each thing. So the OASIS uses the best of each platform, each provider. So it's like, so Ethereum might be better at one thing, Holochain will be better at something else. Not one tool like is good for everything. So the OASIS harnesses the strengths of each different thing it plugs into it. It's like the Borg, but a good version of the Borg. It's simulating all the technology and then harnessing it into one super like singularity. And that's basically what the OASIS is. It takes the best bits of everything, and that's what the bit we're getting to now. I've done the groundwork, allowing things to plug together through the interfaces. Everything can talk to each other, and now we can start to take these use cases and start to harness that interoperability. You see what I mean? And we're only just beginning now. They did keep telling me you're only just beginning now, so I always think I'm late, but I now get that all this stuff was to prepare for the fun stuff. And now we're getting to the fun bit when we actually start to build real world use cases, starting with your app and everything else. And anyway, sorry,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, it's I think it's really about zeroing in on what the market's looking for, because you have a huge amount of vision involved in how it comes together, but at the same point we have to dial it down to little bite-sized pieces for people, right?
Yeah, that's why
challenging.
That's why I've done this demo. Like, you see how long this demo ran for? It's supposed to be an hour, and I've only covered a teeny aspect, because originally the demo was going to be the whole OASIS API, and I said to Max, there's no way I can demo the whole thing. Like, that's why I thought, well, I've got to do it in modules. We do a session. So this is session 1, like just the avatar, and then next week we cover another section, like data, and then we cover the provider API, and then we cover seeds, and then we'll cover the UI, the web UI. That's why I couldn't show you the web UI today as well, because it's just too much. It's so much. In a way that makes me feel better, because actually I have done a lot of work. I keep feeling I'm late, but actually there really is a lot to show already. And this is still only the really baby steps of the OASIS. It's still the only first stages of it. Because when you build it, the bigger thing you're building, the longer it takes to see something. That's kind of how physics works.
Yeah, that's another topic. Yeah, that's another topic that people probably want to know about is, in terms of the tech field, people wonder why you didn't launch sooner, right? They always ask, like, well, he's been doing this for 3 years, why hasn't he gone for funding yet? Like Leah pointed out earlier. So yeah, you'll have to perhaps map the process to get there, but probably truncate it into smaller bite-sized pieces, right? Because we all know that you have had a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges. As you revealed to me and others as well, we've been talking for like 2 years or more now, and I didn't know you were going through all that, but I knew you were having a hard time, right?
Yeah, it's been a journey.
Yeah, but like I say, the brightest lights face the darkest demons, right? It's kind of like Solomon, King Solomon just called them out and faced them, and Gene Key's related to that too. So just keep your chin up, and keep going. We're getting there, and you're making great progress. So congratulations on your first demo, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, because remember, I did it
every time.
I did a demo a year and a half ago. I released this in October 2020, sorry. And it was like similar to what you saw now. All the avatar stuff was there, but it's more to it now. It has been, I've added more to it. It's evolved. And if you go back and watch the old demo, it's still on the YouTube video. You'll see it's matured a lot. And if you're a techie, if you actually look at the code, it's way more evolved, and it's much more solid. So people can come. But that was alpha code, and this is this has evolved for another 2 years. And the Star Omniverse wasn't in there. And that's all in there too. It's hard to explain to you what happens, because I go into Star Web 5 Omniverse and I build that, And then the stuff that it's like an incubator in itself, and the stuff that I involve and I create new technology in there and innovate new things, and then that feeds into the OASIS API. And now I've gone into the OASIS API and I've evolved this the last 4 months. And then things I innovate here then feed into Star. They're like two separate things that are merging more and more. It's like a singularity. Originally, they started as separate components. And this is what happens. I kind of work a little bit and it evolves and then it kind of goes to that bit. It's a bit like, you know, anything really, Scepter and Holochain. It's like, it's kind of like, it's kind of just following the channeling and download. It's hard to explain how it works. It's kind of just evolves itself.
Right.
As you go.
Right. So about 2 years ago, it actually hit the open interwebs, right? And so I think that's basically your tech christening, right? You hit a bottle on the front of it and it's sailing out, you know?
Yeah, and then like, and I wasn't ready that because it was ready. It could be used, but it was still quite rough around the edges of honest bits around it. And then when the developers came on and started building, I had 20 developers working on. I had five. That was the golden days. I had 5 or 7 developers in each team on a web UI, Unity, and a backend. And that's when it really hammered it. And I realized, oh God, this isn't ready. And that's when I kind of backed off, trying to push it. I was like, okay, we need to develop all in house first. So it's kind of like a soft release in a way,
right?
Like
right.
a closed alpha.
That's what I mean. Like,
and now it's polished. Now it's more battle tested because now they've been had that, and I've evolved it. And now it's time for more people to come on, start testing it and building it properly.
So from a tech perspective, that's your 2-year timeline, right? So you're actually, in terms of tech speak, you're 1 year off from going after funding, but you already want, you know, the technology out there because there's obviously huge opportunity, huge need, huge demand out there because people are trying to figure out this Web3 stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so
I know, and I'm
they
like,
already need an alternative.
I've done Web4. It's funny because I got to the crypto fest in Tulum, and they're talking about Web3 and like, oh, I did Web4. I released Web4 a year and a half ago, and I'm building Web5 now, and I'm starting to get downloads about Web6, but that's kind of like a bit far off because when you get the downloads in visions, you know, you get a vision. That's the really quick part, and you can design it in your head really easy. But when you actually come to build it, actually building it in 3D takes forever, and it's so freaking like watching paint dry. But I just got to be patient because I'm used to being so quick in my mind. But it's just trying to build the things.
Yeah. Also, when it translates into 3D, it down steps, right? Like it solidifies or it clunks into gear. You know, it's very rubber hits the road, and it's tedious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the simplest parts because what I built is a simple part. What I built is just the basic components. And in my head, like I originally thought, 3 to 6 months to build this part. It's taken me 3 years. So I worked out that I've just got to change the unit of measure. So if I think it's 3 months, in my head, it's really 3 years. I'm working out a 5D to 3D conversion now, and generally I find like that's generally the rule. So when I thought like I was going to start in February because my team wanted you remember using the ICO, they wanted something to see on the API, and I was like, no, I'm building Star. The university is telling me to build Star, and I was like, okay, I can shelf Star. I spend 1 week on OASIS to get it API to get it ready for the demo. And then 4.5 months later, I finally got to the demo. It's like, this is what I mean. Like, I thought it's 1 week and it's 4 months.
Yeah, now here's the curveball. Time is speeding up as well.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I don't know if it helps me or not. But sometimes I think it does. But I don't know because sometimes I notice because time is an illusion. When I'm present and in a good flow state, I notice time expand. You come into the now because the now is expanding. But I actually find sometimes I do coding and it feels like I've coded for hours and only an hour of clock time's gone by. But I swear I've been coding longer than an hour. But if you're in a stressed state and you're like, what? And sometimes you kind of wishing the time away, then the time goes faster. And then it's weird. It changes. Sometimes it goes faster. Sometimes it speeds up. I do find that time dilates so much. It fluctuates. Sometimes I feel like I get like 48 hour day, and other times I get a 2 hour day. It's crazy.
Yeah, thank you, David. Good demo. I gotta go, but thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, it's been long call. Any other people want to say anything? And I eat some more. I'm gonna eat some chocolate in a minute. Celebrate.
All right. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Anyone else can talk? I've talked enough today.
Nah.
It was lovely though, David. Thank you so much for putting so much energy into it. Really, it's really helped me actually finally hearing it laid out. I'm pretty now in tune.
Oh, it helps a bit. Yeah, I think I need to do this.
Yeah.
I think I need to do. Oh, it's weird. People keep joining and leaving again. Yeah, I really needed to to show people. I'm sorry it's taking so long to demo it all, but it's like, you know, I'm a perfectionist and I still don't feel as ready. But Max and everyone's saying, just do it, just demo what we got. Just do something.
It was actually what everybody needed to hear. David, honestly, you've got to keep up with these demos, because actually they should really be a sort of every 3-4 day occurrence, really.
Once a week is going to be,
yeah, you keep onboarding more and more people and more energy, and everything's going to grow. It's going to crystallize, you know. But really, you're relying on other people now to finish their projects to plug in, and I believe there's many. Yeah, there's many. So
because that's the thing, because I'm an integrator. That's my mission, is to gamify and integrate reality. That's why I'm here. I built this to integrate. So, and the OASIS is only as powerful as the thing that plugs into it. So the more things we plug into it, it's like Power Rangers. It becomes more and more powerful.
Can I make a suggestion? I think, David, to be honest with you, should be looking for a physical location, because I think it will be much more easy to apply investment to that format. Essentially, people can come, they can see the office, they can meet the team. I think it's essential. I believe it's the next move now, and then you can start to actually potentially, you know, start to use the developers that you've got to actually you could actually essentially put them out to projects and start gaining your traction that way.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You say, but we're office, because we kind of me and Max call where we're staying. You saw Max on a video. I think he's doing a little demo of where we're staying. He kind of walked around outside. That's where we're staying, little oasis. It's a little, you've been here as well, haven't you? You've been here, Bradley. It's nice space we're in. And Max had a vision of getting more people here, like cause Max got a team and he's going to try and bring his designer over here, and for other people who are joining us, and we're going to try and get them to all come to our little oasis here, so we can actually all work in the same space. Because bringing the physical location helps.
You need your strategist, you need your PR, you know, regularly in the office, because I was listening to some of the conversations and just thinking, God, this needs to be an office convo.
It needs to be structured.
Yeah, it really does. And as much as I hate office, I can't believe.
No, you're right. You're totally right. Yeah. That's what we were talking about it with Max and David, because I'm in Huatulco right now, and so it's a huge hub of business, and there is like the richest people, not just in Mexico but in the world, have houses here.
Yeah.
So and they're really nice people, the majority of them. The city is built in a very sustainable way, so we were thinking about doing it here as well, but we don't know yet, you know.
What city are you in?
We have a Huatulco, that's how it's called, and there is a void in tech. You know, there's a big void in tech, because it's a city built around real estate and, you know, tourism. It's very beautiful, very sustainable. It's a model.
So it's the other side, right? It's the Pacific.
It's the Pacific, yes. So and their infrastructure is really good and climate proof. That's why it's cool, because they can actually take hurricanes and live with it. You know, it doesn't destroy them.
That's handy.
Just a little point about the Yucatan, David. Something that I found out as I was leaving is that the Yucatan has a new licensing and gambling policy that's coming through, and it's kind of interfering with things and stopping the ability for you to be able to protect your information as it stands. So I would strongly advise you to move the other side of Mexico right now, just while you're in this kind of stage, because I know that, you know, I moved from Mexico quite fast, actually, because I was feeling very kind of uncomfortable with what was going on, and I've done my research, and it turned out it was definitely something to do with the Yucatan, and I believe that that you should move, David. Honestly, on a bro to bro level, please move.
Well, Tulum,
Yeah,
Tulum is
totally.
it's outdated, you know, and it's very infiltrated as well by all kinds of agents. You know, there is pretty much everyone over there. And so can you really trust? My strategy is to go, we built all these crazy technology, 1,300 technologies we built in almost 3 years right now, and we went completely submarine. And even then they found us. And even then they harassed us to give us investment we didn't even ask for, you know? So you want to be as low profile as possible until you go big. You know, when you get the big investment, then you're like, hey, I'm here, guys. Watch out.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I'm very trusting, because universe always tells me we're divinely protected, and I always trust that. I have complete absolute trust, but at the same time, it's a balance. Like it's still like trying to be safe, but I think it's a fine balance, because like not being naive, but also don't be paranoid. It's kind of like being in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, but bro, you know what happened to us.
Oh God, I know. I'm hacked every day. Like last night, I was going to do release and the power went out for 4 hours. It's just all the time. It's constant. Every time I'm getting close, I get trolled or hacked or something. or tankified.
Speaking of, a remote computer is trying to get into my system right now.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. It says, so I'm trying. Can you guys help me? Can you guys help me figure out the security alert? Okay,
where is it?
Share screen.
Make sure your VPN is on. Get your VPN on, and get your blocker on as well. And
can I speak?
ExpressVPN.
It says. Go ahead. It says revocation information for the security certificate for the site is not available. Do you want to proceed? And then I look at the certificate and it says ensures the identity of a remote computer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Telmex.
Welcome to my everyday life.
Well, you know, they're watching us for sure. And I mean, I even talk with them directly. I've had offers to work with them. You know what I mean? So the goal here is we can't really protect everything, but to just, you know, be cool with it and do our excellent work. That's how you win. You do an excellent work. You leave everyone behind. Even if they bring you the biggest genius, they're not going to be able to reproduce 1,300 technologies in 3 years.
And they can't do any of it. That's what I'm saying.
But you might be lucky enough to get investment through this as well. That's another thing that I've discovered from these invaders, is that they're often not so invasion. It's not such an invasion. They actually want to give money.
But like,
so it's
But I was just going to say, like, it's divinely protected, because I had this conversation with Chris, with Iron Man, and he's the most paranoid person ever, and he's like so security conscious, and like he's like another level. Like he doesn't even like work online; he works on a USB stick, and this
is the Russian style.
He's full on. No, he makes SES and MI6 look like amateurs. I swear, he's Iron Man. He's really Iron Man, and he's just insane. But no, he's great in a good way, like kind of thing. But like also, I get someone been working with him for ages to trust the universe, because I call it divine encryption. Our projects are high vibration, they're angelic galactic encoded, so they can't even see our stuff, let alone decode it. So even if they manage to see it, they can't understand it, because they don't have the keys, they don't have the decoder. They need to be of light to get it. And that's why the Universe Angel has been working with me for years, building my trust, because I don't want to go open source or public, because this is our world project was secret. It was supposed to be my world. It's called my world before it went our world. And then I started in 2011, but it took to 2016. So it took all those years to build the trust that much, so that I went public with it. And even then it was only little bits, but over the years I've just disclosed more and more and more. And I haven't told people the full thing yet, but like I've given little examples. But then that took a lot of trust to do that. And then I just know I have, because like Bradley's saying, it's a balance, because I have to get it out there to get the light workers and the rest of people to come and join me. I have to get that balance where I can't just sit in my cave. I have to get it out there into the world. But then I just trust the Universe Angels are protecting us, so I'm fine with it. But they also just don't do stupid things, and like, you know, like Tank come along and
whomever builds this platform and finishes it first is gonna win. That's simple. So that's what I'm afraid of, is because you know, they have armies of programmers. We need to get a few programmers that can work full-time or part-time just on this for at least even a month, and then when we get the front end, then we're good to go. That's all I need.
I know. I suppose it needs
you guys.
Get some front end developers, be great. but I'm not worried about. I'm not, because Max knows sometimes when I've been really depressed. I've been struggling with this for years. I've been like kind of on and off depressed for like 3 years because it's been so ridiculous. I keep feeling I'm behind schedule and I'm late, and because I've been sabotaged so many times. I had so many health problems, and so much has been taken from me again and again and again. Like any investment or partnership or any team that got built around me got sabotaged and mind controlled, and so I've seen
But that's
it
not going to happen
again and again.
anymore.
I know, but this is
now
what
it's our
happened.
time.
I've been here before. I've had this team and around me before, and then suddenly they're all turned against me and start attacking me. And people you think are my friend, like it'd be literally like you and Max will start attacking me. But no, you're not going to. But it's an
Don't
example
feel
of what's
that,
happened.
David.
No, don't
This is
feel
a
it.
plastic.
But I'm trying to say this is what I'll give you an example of what I've been through for last 5 years. This is what's happened.
understand.
And then
Yes.
but this is why I had a lot of trust. I had to learn that this is all part of the divine plan, because they keep telling me it's evolution, it's preparing me, it's training me to become more resilient and stronger, become more Superman, and to trust and surrender, and that it's all going to work out, and it's divine timing. And now in 222 Master Builder year, now it's a year when really we start to step up and come onto the world stage. So that's why I know it's going to happen now. It has to happen. If it doesn't
it's not
happen,
just you,
the world
David. It's
falls.
a lot of other founders. You know, there's so many other projects. I have this Eden Alliance, the Planetary Alliance. So I get to see like the thousands and thousands of inventors that are on the same page, and everybody's taking off at the same time. So it's a momentum. It's amazing to be part of this. And we should really focus on our thoughts must be 100% mastered. That's where it happens, because we're co-creating right now, and it's just going to get more and more. As I agree with, you know, what your friend said about having the office. Why? Because the office structures everything. So you go in, even if you do 9 to 5, that works. Trust me, it works, because in that 9 to 5, you don't take any calls, you don't answer any messages, you don't do anything except doing your thing, you know, the work.
Yeah,
with deadlines, with everything. So that's really what I want to get us into, and have a deadline for the front end, you know. So we can say to investors, hey, we can meet you on this date, because right now what I can do is a seed, raise a seed round, which is a pre-seed round, sorry. So a pre-seed is basically when you just have an idea and you start working on it, but the product is not finished yet. But there you can't really raise a lot of money because it's a pre-seed. So they just give you enough to get going. But that's why I say it would be best if we don't do a pre-seed and we do a seed round immediately once we have the front end done, because that would secure a bigger portion for the investment. You know what I mean? They're ready to bet big on that, on the seed round.
So what do you guys need for the investment? I'm 100% in agreement. I mean, for the front end, because that's what I keep on talking about. Partnership is, I'm in the same boat as you, David. You know, I've been doing this work for 2 years or 10, 15, 20 years actually. And I've taken the last 5 years off to, you know, get rid of the dark energies that have been attacking me since I was a child. But so it's the same thing. But, you know, so that's why I know how to develop what we need as a designer for front end. And the incubator that I quit 5 years ago, you know, I need cash. You know, I've been working in this space for a long time, trying to make DAOs, bring us all together. A lot of the people on this call for David right now is because, you know, they met him through me, because, you know, like Bradley met David through me, and I don't know who else, but like we all met each other in this group called Awaken Dream Synergy. I'm in Tulum. David came to Tulum because he knew several people in Tulum, including me. And it's really amazing how this is happening. But what I'm saying is that I have to go work for the incubator right now because I need cash, because I've literally had $300 to $500 a month for the last 2 years trying to get some things going, and bringing the groups and the events and all the people. You know, that took me full time. I'm not an event creator. I'm a front end designer, and
so just do that. You'll make so much money. You'll make so much money, girl. In Silicon Valley, come on LinkedIn, I'll connect you. There's like so much money in this.
But honey, no, I'm a David. I'm like David. I'm like him. I'm in incubators. So what I'm saying is the incubator that I'm about to go back in is people that have been having me. I've been working for them over on and off for 20 years, and then going back and then having my vision quest and stuff like that, and then going back to work for them. So I was just wanting to see and know what you need for the front end, because we've been designing for virtual reality for over 20 years, and now it's time. But they have other ideas, and it's totally more like parallel systems, and he has funding for front end design, and he wants me to do his design. So I'm wanting to know what you guys need for front end so I can pitch this to him, because right now we're in negotiations. He wants me to be CEO of 2 of his businesses, and his stuff is in identity, and it's about global identification. And I'm thinking of going back to him because I don't want to go back to Silicon Valley. Every time I go back to Silicon Valley, everyone wants me to work on their thing, and then I have to work 70 or 100 hours. Like David knows this world as well, you know. So
all my best years were done before my mission started. I wasted all my health on working in contracting, and I started my mission and I burnt out. The first year of my mission, 2013, I collapsed. I was like, great, thanks universe. So now all my best years were spent working for the corporation and banks, and now I've been working broken for the last 7 8 years.
So basically, because she's asking what she needs in terms of back end, basically we need to show a demo, not like what David showed us. Yeah, because that's for developers. We need to show something, anything that people can log onto, that they can use at least 3 to 4 functionalities and actually show them that it's working. Once we have that, we can not only have investors, we can have deals with companies that would be very happy to come build on a decentralized system like OASIS, you know what I mean? So that would open the door for sales as well, and that would become a real company making money. That's how you transform an idea to a company, making it and monetize it.
Yeah, we have all that. So that's why within a few weeks we have, because it's basically kind of there. They just need to fix some bits, because I can't even log in. Basically, I could even send the link now, but I don't want to send the link yet because I haven't checked if they fixed the login yet.
But if she has, David, she has someone right now. She's talking about this incubator that has funding for front end. So why don't we talk with them and see if they can build it? Because they have a team, you know, it's an incubator, it's big. Then the funding as well. It's small, okay, but it's still bigger. Yeah, exactly. So it's still bigger than what we're on right now, which means no funding.
Any funding of developers, please send them away.
Thank you.
So do you think you would be able to build it? Do you think you would be able to build it?
What, the front end?
Denise, I think it's Denise that's talking, right?
Oh, right.
I was wondering if you could give me what you said in bullet points so I can understand. I'm a visual learner and I didn't catch everything. So you need a login and then you need the possibilities. What are the possibilities?
No, it's kind of there. It's kind of already there. I just see some React developers.
We just need something that works, you know, that works for everyone. That's not just for developers, you know, because when it's written in coding language, nobody
it's already there. You're all talking like it doesn't exist. The website exists. The front end already exists. It's just it's 95% complete, but not yet.
Where is it? What do you mean it exists?
Because it needs to be fixed. I could send you the link, but I don't want to send you a link because it might not. Well, I guess you could kind of half it. I send you. Okay, do you want? You forced my hand now. I wasn't ready to show it to anyone yet, but I can show you it. But basically, I'm not sure if they fixed the logins. You can probably see. You get an idea of it. Let me just see where it's on staging.
It would be a really good idea that then the team kind of had a kind of look at it and then kind of strategy. It built a strategy around that and kind of padded it out a little bit and kind of added in the features that
there's loads and he's doing. There's loads. But you see that this has been built for a year and a half. I built the menu system and the animation and everything else and the starting. I've done all this. I mean, the React developer was supposed to just
I've seen this. That's where I tried to create. I tried to log in or to sign up, but it didn't let me. So once we have a possibility to sign up,
showing it to people
so that's what we have to fix.
Yes,
if we can fix this,
once this is fixed.
Oh my God, guys! Do you guys listen to what I'm saying? I'm not being funny. Like I've been saying this for ages. We just needed the
show us.
Can we drop the subject? Because I'm. It's been done. It's been handled. If you can send me some decent React devs just to help finish some bits, that'd be great. But I've got some. He's still working on it now. This freelance guy. I used to have 4 developers, but now I've only got 1 guy, and he kind of works here and there. But I had to kick his ass, and now he's starting to realize, we've got to get it finished. Yeah, he sent me some messages today, so he's actually he seems to be on it now, hopefully. But if I can have some more developers, it'd be great. But
I know you hate deadlines, David, but I'm here. I'm gonna be the Mrs. Deadline
in
this trip, That's my new name, Leah Deadline. You know why? Because that's how you get shit done.
No,
Really, because especially with people, like if you have a team, and I've been in this, I have a smaller team now, but we're really good. Why? Because we have deadlines and we do the work. And before we were 25 people and everybody was talking left and right, and nobody was doing it, So we need deadlines.
No, sorry, I'm sorry. Let's not talk about this here. I'm not going to agree to that. I don't. Max knows about that because I work to a lifeline. A lifeline is a goal we can work to, but we don't kill ourselves. We don't mess our health up. Working to a 3D construct because deadline is created by the 3D dark side to stress us out and burn us out. But we have goals. We have targets. We can we have that, but we're not going to like get stressed out and get angry at people when I don't meet a date.
We don't have to be.
That's what I'm talking about. I've got a real resistance to deadlines because I've been in the corporate world and I ain't going back to that. And that's why my health's messed up today because I gave myself my own target today, solstice, and I put myself and I messed my health up to do this. So I'm not doing that again.
But you did a great job. I mean, there's always a price, it doesn't have to mean you're going to sacrifice your health. You have to take care of yourself. There is a price.
See,
there is a price.
So look, the date's July 26th, got loads of time. So I've already put this schedule out. July 26th is when I show the web front end. It'll probably be ready within a few days to a week, I reckon. But at least
what are you designing? What are you designing exactly?
I designed it years ago. I designed the web UI years ago, but last year I designed it all. Was it last year? Last year, and then the React devs were supposed to have finished it all. And then I've come to test it. I'll tell Max's story. And then last year I went and logged in and it was a big pile of shit. And I was like, what the fuck is this mess? And I was like, this is what I get for what I pay for. And I went mental because I spent like $4,000 on them. I paid them per the hour. And I fired, well, I don't fire them. We ran out of money because they wasted all the money. And then, and now I'm going a big to-do list. And right, now you're going to be paid this fixed fee when you finished it, like £200 or something, when you get these things sorted out. And that was in the last October. And they did nothing because now they're not on per hour. They're all left, and then like, well, we're not going to work then. And now, and then I got one or two guys who kind of do like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. But then the other a few days ago, I checked it and it still couldn't log in. So I kicked their asses. I said that you got to June 21st when we're doing a demo. I need it working by then. But I knew July 26th is the real date. But I told them 21st of June. Just so that they can get their ass together.
No.
And now he's starting to work. You can see yourself. Go on Discord. It's all open. You can see yourself what's happening. This is why I do it all publicly. Go on Discord. Go on OASIS Web UI Dev, and you can see me and the dev talking about screenshots. Just share my screen so you can see.
Yes, show screenshots, please.
And then because it's all there. It's all done openly, so you guys can jump in and not be abusive at him, but maybe use some other words to say like, so maybe to come in not just from me. If it comes from you guys saying that we've got investors. So Mohammed Aslan, that's my tech lead for the web guys. And there used to be another guy called Derek, and he's disappeared. And there was another couple of guys who wanted to help, but the other guys wanted $20-30 an hour. So I can't afford to pay them. So I'm paying Mohammed Aslan. We're on agreement that when he finishes it, he gets paid £200, or I think it's £300. I can't remember what it was now. I created his escrow in Upwork last November, and then he hasn't done hardly anything. But now he's starting to work again. Can you see the screen? It's like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy Mohammed Aslan. So you can go on I'll send the link, the Discord server. So this is why he's fixing the logins. So you see he's still working on the login and so
he's a developer, not a designer. So
he's a React, he's a React web dev, and there's there was another couple. This me and him have been working on it last few days really intensely. This is me sending him the API because he had trouble with the API, and I released. This is why I've been fixing the API because it comes up with things, and so this is what's happening. But like it's just frustrating.
What does it look like when you get inside right now where you're working on making it work? So like sometimes you don't necessarily need to make it work to show people what the intention is. Sometimes you just need a creative mock-up or animated creative experience.
But it all works.
Say this is the intention, and then we want to pay for the devs to link it. We've got the back end, we've got the pieces, we've got the main dev, and then you want to link it. So do you have any other screens for what it is when you're inside, or should
there was other screens, but I never got to see. Well, actually there was, and then they broke it. That's why, like, if you wait until next week. He said he's fixed it now, so I got to do a release, and I can't do that when I'm talking to you guys. I need to focus on that. So I need to do another release of this, and he said he's fixed the login now. And then when you fix the login, see these things in the menu? Can you see my screen? Like,
Yeah.
These are all built for avatar screens, the Karma screens, the data screens. So you recognize the API. These are front ends to these are examples of how to build an API. This is like a reference site.
Yeah.
So this is like generic web UI components that you can plug into any site you're building, any app. And this is like, you know, you get example site. This is like an example site of what you could build in the API. And these are just, these are front ends to it. So that's the seeds. You probably recognize it. So I showed you these things earlier I was talking about. This is the front end to all those things. Yeah, look, this is what I'm talking about. Like,
but
look what I'm talking about. So coming
these?
soon, and look at the size of it. This is what I mean. There's just freaking indie. I'm not being racist, but they don't seem to have a clue how to build anything. They just don't seem to get.
But you're talking about developer. Like, what's a screen?
I know, but it's like I was a web dev for years. This is why I get so freaking triggered by them. I'm a web dev for years, and I wouldn't hand that over to someone, a big fucking box that takes up the whole screen. Look at that. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I'd be like, does it log in yet? No, it still doesn't log in. I get a fucking error message, and and I had 6 months to build a fucking log. So I get, see how angry I get.
But
it really
a lot of
me
times,
off. I'm just like, can't you build anything to save your life? It's like I could build a login screen in a day. So like, I feel like, do I have to do everything myself? But anyway, sorry, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm tired and I get grumpy about this.
Totally, I get it. But David,
you have no idea how hard this has been, this journey.
David,
yeah.
David. A lot of times that's why you don't have the dev do the login screen. You have the designer design it beforehand, and then the dev just plugs it in.
No, I've done it. I've done the designs. I designed all this last year. They had detailed designs that Max has seen, detailed sketches. I drew all the sketches. I think Max has seen them, and me and Max are going to go through them. And he had a web designer team who were going to improve it. But right now, because I can't log in, I can't go any further, because these options here are grayed out. You used to be able to click these because you can't see them until you log in, even though that isn't what I told them to do. But basically what's going to happen is, as soon as I can log in, then I can go through the rest of the site, and then I can see what's actually working. But like, I can't even get past the login screen at the minute. This is why I can't show you anything. This is why I put it on the schedule to be like in July, to give them time to fix it, because I know how slow they are. Where am I now? Getting lost. So like, yeah, so basically this is why, if you guys know any decent Unity developers, I could do some real professionals who actually, you know, ideally Western, not being racist, or just ones who can do basic things like know not to have a giant box covering the screen and actually test the work. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. I'm the only developer who actually tests the work, because all the developers I've had, they don't seem to test anything. They do. And like, do you actually test it? And like, it's just crazy. I know I'm like experienced contractor, but like, it's just still basic 1, 2 ABC, you know, like as a developer, you test your work before you check it in and you say it's done.
So you have the designs, and then what you want to do is you want to have the development connect to the designs. So you have the designs. You don't need a user interface designer.
No, we've already got
user
design.
Experience.
We've already got, but it needs improving. That's why I need to get. That's why we're going to get the login sorted, and then we're going to just check what's there, and then I'm going to hand it over to if it needs improving. Then Max got some web designers that we're going to use. But then I remember that actually the layout is quite nice already, but I can't actually see screen. Any screens? Oh, this one. Oh, this one. If you see the screen.
Is it gonna have like? Is it going to be like, what's the screens like? Like you're actually going into the VR experience, right? That's what you're diving into, like a place where you can see your avatar.
No, nothing like that. This is what you see. Can you see my screen now? It's all to see. Yeah, this is what it is. But it's basically just a front end to the API. So you know, you saw the API earlier, you know, on the Swagger.
So it's like a dashboard.
Yeah, like that. It's basically just a UI to all the API calls, just so non-developers can see what the API can do. So you saw in Postman or the API, and this web UI is just like a portal, one place you can log in, you can create your avatar and log in. But then it's an example of what can be built on it. This is just an example site, and then we need to build, because then we start building the proper world. We actually need a proper like. then this portal will become more. Right now, it's just a reference site, and these components, see these rewarded seeds, that's a component. So other developers can drop that component, the seeds component, yeah, into the web app, and then they have a login component, they have a menu component, they have a my friends list, my messages. Do you see what I mean? A load data component. Do you see what I mean? So these are generic components that can be plugged in, so you can plug and mix, you know, pick and mix a web app. So you can build things quickly. That was the whole point of all this. But like they're taking forever.
What you need is you need a demo. You need
Amazing.
a demo system plug-in. Really? Do you think?
Demo system.
You need like you almost need like a plug-in to show what they want to build on your site too, so you can see the possibilities of what on your. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's what this is. This is an example. That's why the whole point of this is basically the components. So basically, what's going to happen as well? Have you ever seen Telerik or different web components? They have like an example apps they build. They have the components. So this would be like. On here somewhere there'll be another list saying OASIS components, OASIS web components, and it'll be like a gallery, like a marketplace of all the different components, and then you click on it and you can see an example of it, and then at the bottom of it all you have a reference site, and it's based on an example site built for all the components, and that is what you're looking at. This is the reference site, this is the example site, and but then all these components can be plugged in. You see what I mean? So you have a view avatar component, you have an edit, be an avatar component, you have a karma component, a data component, a seeds component, a provider component, a login component. But you don't. And then people can build a site out of those components, and they can plug and play them how they like, and then they can skin it and change the theme. They can change the look and feel of it. That's what we were building. That was the spec. That was the scope I gave these developers last year. And then unfortunately, I didn't get a good bunch of developers because my budget was so small, and that's why it's been ridiculous how long it's taken to get this far. Anyway,
David.
Yeah.
So this is somewhat what I've been designing with the incubator, and I'm doing it as a designer, and I have the developers as the front end developer. I'm the front end designer, then there's the front end developer, and then there's the back end developer. You know, there's layers. So I work with the middleware developer and the back end developer. That's how I do it. And I design these spaces so the developers know what to do, right? Am I talking too loud?
No, I just come back into the room. So when I got screen sharing, it's weird because I can't see anyone. I just like see the screen.
Yeah. Well, I so appreciate you going through this with me, because I remember seeing this piece a long time ago, and I feel like I get a little bit more. So the incubator that I'm invited into, this is how we are designing. I wanted to go modular, and I was trying to convince them to go modular. We couldn't find the developers we needed to create it that way. So so I really want to share and show this, because I created like a dashboard, and we were working with spheres. We were working with circles, you know, like this is 5 years ago. So I've like partially designed this already, and I've done like front end systems that have dashboards that can help you dive into virtual reality. I've already designed this, like how we take the components and move them around and say, I'm this avatar, I'm this person, I want that component in my system. And then, you know, and so I'm also been having this vision, and and what happens in the business part of it, which I think Bradley here knows about, our Zoom user, he is how the modularity of the system will be, because, you know, the system is going to help hook it in. So it's the weave. It's going to be like, okay, I'm going to take color red and I'm going to put it in this fabric of reality. So OASIS is the fabric of reality, but like my, you know, I've been designing for how that fabric of reality is going to be interacting with virtual reality and facilitative components. I'm calling it facilitative components. I'm not sure if that's the right lingo, or if we want to use a different lingo, but people want to say, I want to use this identity system. No, I want to use this identity system. And also I want to own my data. So that's what my incubator is about, how you own your data and how you say, no, I actually will not go into that area because you're trying to steal my information from me. So it's about how can we, if they would want to work with you, or they would want to partner, and they would want to, you know, have help build out the system in the way that they are interested in having it. So just keep that in mind. It's not like hiring. It's partnership. That's a totally different thing than
I want
hiring.
people to help just plug in, because it sounds like you're sharing the same goals. But this has been the goal for ages, because the OASIS is a generic system. So you've got the generic backend components, and this is going to be the generic front end components. And then in then Unity, we've got the same thing in our world game. We've got a Unity asset I haven't released yet, that has been ready to release since last November. I'm going to release it in the next couple of weeks. It's just sat there on my to-do list, and that's people can plug the OASIS API into any game. So we've got the web. I want to release them all at the same time. So this is what this demo is building up to. So I'm showing you the back end. Then they're going to show you the web UI. Then we're going to show you the Unity UI, and then we're going to show you all the. Then we've got a JavaScript library. So you saw what you just seen there. The back end to that, it built a Node JavaScript library that you can download off a NPM store, and especially a JavaScript library that people can plug in, and that's like a wrapper around the OASIS API. So it's 3 layers you saw there. It's the OASIS API is the backend components, then we've got the JavaScript component, then we've got the UI components. They're all modular, they're all components, and then we've got the Unity asset store, and all this is built, all this is there. It just needs fine tuning. That's why I'm so close. So I'm 99%. It's the last freaking percent. It's taken 6 months to get here. Right? It's like it's been so close. So, and actually, it was already released. The JavaScript library has already been released, but hidden, soft release. I haven't popularized it yet. And same with the OASIS API, I haven't really pushed that. And the Unity one, I'm going to release next week, but that's been ready to release since November. It's because I wanted to do it all at the same time. I wanted to go, da-da, here's the racist world. And that's why I'm waiting for Max. When Max has got the website done, and we got the pitch deck done, and a white paper done, that's when we're going to release it. It's launch day, it's O day. It's the big O day. On O day, we release everything. The website goes live, we release the JavaScript library, we release the Unity library, and then we release the web UI. It all goes, people can start creating avatars and stuff. Right now, you guys are getting little hidden little previews. That's why I don't want anyone to see it, because I wanted the first impressions count. I don't like showing half-finished things, half-broken site. That's why I didn't want to see. I don't even want you guys to see this yet. But just so you know, there is a lot of stuff there that I haven't really shown, because to me, it's not ready yet. But they're 99% complete. Most of it's 90% to complete. Like, Unity is about 50%, 60%. But the web stuff, it
almost needs the projects to kind of come along and kind of force you into completion on each.
Yeah, well, that's why I started to go live now and do these demos, because hopefully people will stop watching these videos. You see, there is stuff there, and you can be building it. But you have got React devs can use what we got there, because that's all checked in. All that code is in the repository. It's all open source. All that JavaScript and web UI is all open source, and they are generic components. Because that's why we chose to go React. Because I asked them. I took their expert opinion, some of them are expert, whether use React, Angular, or JavaScript, pure JavaScript vanilla. And we decided React was the best one, because that's components, and also it's the most popular framework. Because I did research, it's the most popular framework out there. So we're doing React first, then we're going to do Angular, then we're going to do Vue, and then vanilla JavaScript. But like originally we're building all 3 in parallel. But we got login screen. We've got the login screen in Angular and in vanilla as well. But then they're taking so long that I thought, well, just focus on one. So let's build React first.
That's why you need an office. That's why you need an office.
Yeah, I need a team. I want a freaking team. I love to walk into an office today and see my team of Unity devs, my team of web devs, and my backend devs. Like 3 teams working, Scrum, daily stand-ups, agile planning,
and then you have your PR.
Everything I do in the corporate world, I want to use that. And I may have a weekly, I've already seen it in my vision. I know exactly how to run these teams. I've been in this corporate world, and you have the Scrum of Scrums. You know Agile, right? So each team will be 7 people in each team, web UI, Unity UI, and a back-end team. And they'll have their own 2-week sprints with sprint planning and retrospective at the beginning and end. And then you have the Scrum of Scrums where the tech leads from each team meet and we coordinate the teams. And if we're all in the office together, it's so much better, because on a Discord it did work a bit, but I can't kick their ass. I don't want to kick their ass, but if they sat at their desk and they haven't fucking fixed the login, I'd be like, guys, where's the login screen? And no, you're not going lunch. Oh no, I'm a nice boss, but you know, but you see what I mean? Like they're more likely to fix it, you know, when I'm breathing over the neck.
Well, you can help them fix it, you know, that's the thing. It's like you can guide people and teach people as they walk along with things. Yeah. And that's why I've got
loads of love too, but eventually I need to kick up the arse because I've been loving. I'm too kind and nice, man. That's a problem. I've been too nice and like, and then sometimes I have to get a bit stricter because I don't see get the work done. I'm like, look, you're just not taking me seriously. Now I need to like get a bit more direct.
David, I've got to run, but it was lovely to speak to you all, and whoever's still on, lovely to hear your voice and meet you and everything. Yeah, I've got some food for thought. You know, I'm going to chew this up and then come back with something. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about
passing out to Mexico as much as I am still furious, but I will. yeah. After this call, it's kind of convinced me that maybe that's the kind of option.
It's good to see you again, man. It's like nice to see you. You're healthy and alive still. That's good.
Yeah, I'm alive. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
I'm still alive too. That's something. When I get down, I thought at least we're still alive, aren't we? So we've got that. So that's good.
It's funny, David, because actually I did have a little call with Tank, and he was like, I've got money to sort all of this out, and I was like, well, show it then. You know, like let's get moving, because you know. All you did was rip us off, but you never know who might be coming with it, you know, and that'll be great.
I wouldn't trust me. Max don't trust, because he's kind of stolen 3 people now. Me, you, and Max have all been stolen. Like someone trust someone that does that.
I mean, I'm on my knees because I'm still chasing these people that I gave money to, like now, and I haven't got any myself anymore. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Past is the past. But yeah, I just want to say thank you. It was really, really productive for sure.
Yeah, it's worth it. I'm glad it's good thing I did this, wasn't it? I think I did the right thing then. Yeah,
you did. Yeah,
get the ball rolling. How does it get more public? So this is the start of it. So you've seen the schedule there. So every week there'll be another demo on each module. We're going to go through each part, and then we're just going to keep going. And then
let's all try and catch up in the next few days to a week, and have a recap, and then come back with our thoughts and just because I do believe that this takes more than one leader, David. Just you know, you've got to have your, like you say, your mothership all running around and really feeling their position. You know, and you know, your position is clear, and we're all just trying to sort of fit into it, and bit by bit it's all kind of making sense. It just needs some order. Needs some law and order, unfortunately.
I think Bradley's the best hyper intelligent business developer that understands this whole piece. Honestly, like Bradley's the only business developer that I know that understands this. I don't know your abilities, Max, but in speaking with Bradley, he can grip the business part of it more, you know. So when we talk, for instance, my incubator guy, he's an older guy. His name's West Coast Mall. He created Global Villages, Village Group. Rupert Murdoch bought it, etc. He's really been in this for 40 years. You know, but he has a way of, you know, he wants it to be his way. So we need someone like Bradley who can like do the negotiations or smooth, or I don't know if that's what you want to do, Bradley, but I'm not the business person.
Well, I want to kind of, obviously I've got my own plugin that my own plugin that I want to go into this system. So that kind of helps. So I want to develop that, but I'm really willing to kind of develop that alongside as long as there's an income, because, you know, after being tanked as this is going
to be our thing. We're going to even put it in the code. Don't be tanked.
Don't be a tank, man. Don't be a tank.
Don't be a tank. No.
Yeah, after being tanked, we've got
tanking. Watch out.
Yeah. You've been tanked.
Yeah, we've got some work to do. We've got some work to do, and I definitely have some work to come back, you know, with and. You know, I'm busy planning away my plugin for this, and which I really think will help elevate this whole thing, because pretty much every element that David has worked on, my plugin involves. So it's really amazing. It's like the unity in this whole scenario is amazing. I was just listening then, and I was like, that's the first time I really got a kind of full rundown. I admit, David and I just had a connection. And we kind of knew that was the case, but to actually hear it, for me, I was just like, hallelujah. You know, I was like, okay, so finally we really can make this now. It's really, it's
we're all
really
supposed to,
possible.
like, because like Leo's right, because we were meant to connect. This is what I was saying to Max, like we were all meant to connect. Me, when you come here, like Tank was infiltration. We're not going to talk about it too much, but like that's what happened. It was a dark interfering, and
Oh my God, it was
Yeah,
beyond.
absolutely. And that's a lot of that
Never
here.
quite.
got derailed. But now,
Yeah.
like I always knew, I had a feeling. That's like Max. When I met Max, I knew I could feel the soul contract, and Denise, I could feel it when I meet people, and Leah, I could feel that connection, and I could feel it saying we're meant to work together. We're contracted to work on this project together. And I felt that with all of you, other than Tank. And that's the reason for that.
I just feel like there's a new route to funding as well, that that my plugin will provide this project and many more to come as well. So I think I've really got to kind of press the accelerate on that.
Module.
Yeah, it's a module that will really drive the funding in a correct new format, because the thing is, if you're going to produce something new, it requires a new train of thought. Okay, so therefore you really have to stand out and to identify to the world that you are something beyond and new. Is that requires a new train of thought, and that requires walking down a brand new path. So it requires a whole new way of thinking, and it is no good producing something brand new and then going down a really classic route of finance, if you understand what I mean. It would be more press-worthy to go down a new route and produce a brand new form of economy. And that's kind of what I'm working on in a way. So that's why, as much as I want you to keep going on the way that you are, I'm itching to get this working, because then I'm pretty sure that we can drive enough press and create enough sound in the world for people to actually come in and hear and know that there is something new on the market, based on obviously the back end side having the backup of that, and then the front end side being obviously the beautiful flower that arrives from that, you know.
Yeah,
and it needs to be functional and ready to go like that, you know. And that's what I'm hoping for, but I feel like so close so far, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting that more people are joining. Hi Mary. Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a demo at 1 p.m. I think it's about 3.5 hours ago now. This is the aftermath. It's just like the aftermath, the after party.
I'm gonna send a kiss and a hug to all of you and say goodbye. But thank you so much. And yeah, really, David, you've done such an ace job, man.
Thank you. I'm exhausted now. I'm so tired because I haven't slept for days.
I'm going to do
my best to
get to Mexico in the next week and come and give you a little hand.
It's safe now, I think, because now we're cleared out the dark stuff. Yeah,
So
we're good.
So yeah, let's pick on chat, and anybody else as well. Let's hook up. And sometimes it's hard for us all to discuss everything in a group, because if it's not your department, it's not your department. And as much this is what these meetings are for catch-ups on that side. But I do believe in sometimes, you know, not everything has to be everybody's thing, because it just gets a bit like, whoa, you know.
Because this is supposed to be an hour.
This was really good.
I broke the demos into like the weekly sessions, and each one is supposed to be about an hour. I was going to try, and I knew it wasn't going to be an hour and a half.
I think you're going to have to repeat them anyway, bro, because honestly, I think, and you're just going to get better and better at them. You know, it'd be really good that we got some investors to the next one, and you to repeat again. And
I hate repeating myself.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, this is why I'm doing this to Max, because talk to Max about this. I'm doing this to like Max, and people on my team and Mike and stuff can start doing demos as well, and we can start doing like breaking up these things into little 10-minute, 5-minute like how-to videos, you know, quick start guides and documentation, because I can't do it all myself. I need to focus on building, so I'm only going to go through all this and start get the things going, and then like Art Brock or Holochain, you don't see him doing a demo every week. And I need to say, I need to step back and focus on the CTO role, and I'm going to do the demos and maybe a few bits here and there, but I want other people to step up and start doing their own tutorials, their own videos, their own meetups. And that's what Max is going to do, and other people are welcome to do that. And because once you've got the information and know how to build an API, I don't need to sit the demo. And it'd be nice to hear some other people's like voice and presentation skills. And you know, like in Holochain, that's what happens. You know, people in communities, you don't see the founder like having to talk about everything all the time. People and other people step up and start doing dev camps and things. That's what I'm getting going. So I'm getting the ball rolling, and then I'm going to step back from it.
David, you've been I've been trying to connect with Max in the chat, you know, for a couple hours, and I don't think he's checking the chat. So Max, I sent you some links because David's been wanting you to join my group. And obviously, it would be good to speak with you, Max, about, you know, what to say, for instance, with the incubator and the potential. And I would love them to show up to the data meeting next week, but I want to be sure I'm communicating correctly. So Max, can you please connect with me and become a part of Awaken Dream Synergy? Because David had been wanting to invite you for a while anyway. And then that way we're connected, and it would be really lovely if I could connect with you, Max.
Yeah, and in real life too. We've got a meeting in Tulum because we're all in Tulum. We still haven't met. I want to get the demos done and then start meeting people, tie up loose ends. Yeah.
Excellent. So Max, please connect with me so that David doesn't have to do everything. And then is it you that I would talk to, Max, in regards to, you know, what I'm speaking to in regards to my mentor and his how to potentially interlink? Like, of course, I'm more hopeful. I'm hopeful. Hopefully, we can inspire him as well.
Yeah, let's definitely have a talk about all those things, Denise. We can talk after this meeting. I'm around.
I think I need to have a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I think everyone's exhausted.
After 3 hours.
It's marathon.
Yeah.
I was tired before I started this demo, and now I'm forcing myself to keep going. I'm in a lot of pain right now, but I think my body is going to shut down in a minute.
But I can probably talk in about an hour again. I need to just have a little break and some food and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fine. I just joined your channel, and I will send you a direct message if I can find you there as well. So
excellent. I'm Lotus Love Dreams. I'll just welcome you. I'll just say welcome, and then yeah, because David's been in the channel for a while, so everyone knows David. So I want to talk about how amazing this call was and things like that as well.
Yeah, and that's why I need people to start representing me in these thing groups. Yeah. That's why I need Max and you, Denise, and other people, because I can't be. I've got to get my head down and keep coding, and I can't do everything. You know, I need to be represented. Ambassadors I need basically to be my mouth. Thanks.
Yeah. Max, what would you call yourself? Because I'm about to introduce you and I'm not sure what to say. Max is
yeah, well, I'm the CMO of OASIS.
Is that Chief Marketing Officer or something?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And Hero and Hero as well. He's my hero.
And Hero and Healer as well, or
just official hero type hero.
But you know, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, everyone will love to hear that David has a hero. So
yeah, Max is my hero. It's Max G-Force because I'm Superman and his name's Max G, so I call him G-Force because he's Max G-Force because he helps us speed up. Finally, that's why it's Max G on my phone. Max G-Force.
Great. Yeah, I'm just gonna say looking good and invite people. If we can post the schedule of the demos, that would be really good.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. You see on the chat, I put the schedule.
If you want me to, I can post it, or if Max wants to post it as a reply, I'm not sure what would be better for you guys marketing wise.
I'll drop it in.
Yeah,
thanks for the invite.
Okay,
that's the schedule. Yeah,
great, because there's a lot of people in this group. In Awaken Dream Synergy, there's a lot of people who, you know, may want to link in, and we've been talking about how to do this as a DAO. So I would just like to, you know, like look at how we're linking and talk more about code. And we were talking, David said he might put his code in Gitbook. A lot of us are now aligning and putting our code and things in Gitbook right now. I'm not sure what Mohan's doing, but Mohan's in this group, et cetera, too.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna add, so that schedule, I've got to add seeds to it. I missed seeds off there, so I'm gonna put seeds in somewhere, probably before the tech deep dive. So I think I'm gonna push the other two back and put, after the key wallet API, put in seeds, because I haven't.
Okay, I'll let you guys do that. Really awesome. I'm so happy I finally got to meet and see, you know, out of the hero's mouth himself, or all of the heroes' mouths. We're all heroes, because Awaken Dream wants to talk about how we're all heroes. It was one of the ways of how we could support each other and inter-network. So it's become really huge. So Ona, actually, could you please get that link to and become a part of Awaken Dream Synergy, so we can get to know you too, Ona, because you were saying you could offer some healing potential. And so we're a lot of people are looking at the stream. So it's just about how we can each add our ability. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yes, I got the link. I'm going to connect with you. Thank you very much. And yeah, my part would mostly be about creating real world OASIS spaces, like on the land, and voiceover if that's ever needed. If you ever need a voice for, like, for example, presenting a little short video to investors, I've done that before. Or if you need a voice for an avatar inside of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, tonight, for example, tonight I'm meeting with another video game developer that is absolutely not on the same level, like in terms of scope, and it's different, but it's very dear to my heart, and I'm going to be a voice inside of that game as well. And of course it's going to be different, so it's not like creating same things and then, you know, we want quality and we want it to stand out.
That's going to be the voice, you know. So the higher self is your guide in the game. So Ona, that's the voice you just heard. Ona is going to be one of the voices for the higher self. You can probably choose a male and female voice, so that would be the female voice that you hear.
I hope I can be the female voice.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys look at my, I'm sorry, I can't get my video to work right now because some issues and stuff, because I've been like $300 to $500 a month and it's just not working. But this is, if you look in my background, can you see, you know, there's a pyramid and a dream catcher and stuff like that. So this is actual a virtual reality world that I created, a metaverse. And this designer who did this pyramid is my friend, Mark Lee. He's one of the best, like Unity and Engine, Real Engine, whatever, designers. And he's really also been into the same exact idea. And he's my ex-boyfriend, like from 10-15 years ago. So I've been also in this world, but he actually makes the avatars, you know, and he wants to have that avatar that is like the wizard or the sage and these kind of things. He was working for Sony, and he left Sony to work on his own and was poor like me until NFT time, and poor like David, because we all have the vision and we all just been putting forth the effort. So this metaverse I made in 2 months with a group of people who were just devoted. But, you know, we were exhausted. We didn't get any payment for it. But right now people are looking to hire me for metaverses that are just kind of a little bit boring. You know, like you're saying, Ona, and I would rather do what we're talking about right here. So however we can do that, we're, you know, this is also my vision. So let's do this. Love it, David. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that you guys can't see my face, but you will another time.
I've met you. I know how you look. But Matt, we'll meet you soon. That's right, because we're loads of people want to meet in Tulum, and then we're going to go to travel to like Playa de Carmen, and then Cancun, and then actually Mary's here because Max is, you know, Mary's in the same place as Leah, because one of my friends, Leah, she's moved to the same thing in Crucita. And so, you know, Mary, like it sounds like we're all going to be meeting there, because that's where Chris was living, and that's where the other eco village is based as well. And so Mary's got an eco village there with Nate. That's the big eco village I said I was working on. It's Mary's eco village with Nate. Cool. And we're going to be integrating the technology with Chris there. And then Leah's got eco villages, Ona's got eco villages. So the OASIS is the network of eco villages together. We use technology to integrate.
Yes, exactly. That's beautiful. The whole point. Yes, to create a network of
the universe called Mary
eco villages, and to create an education for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Please tell me, can I connect with the person that you just mentioned who's also working with eco villages? Yeah. I mean, of course, it's a lot of people, but you specifically mentioned somebody, right?
Mary, right now, Mary Gosman is just going to say
hello.
It's you, dear.
Hey, you two connect. Woo!
I missed it. I was at the dentist for 2 hours.
Oh,
but anyway, wow. So where are you, David? Are you still in Mazunte?
Oh, in Tulum. So I've been in Tulum last few months, but I guess I've got on tight loose ends here because I want to meet Denise and see a few people. Then we're going to go to Playa Cancun, and then back to where you are in Crucecita, because I've got other contacts there. I've got Leah, who's working with us now, and I want to go and see her, and then see you and see Nate again, and then I think Chris is going to come back as well at some point. So I've got a feeling we're probably all going to meet up in Crucecita at some point, because it sounds like the universe wants us to meet there. But it was just interesting when Leah kept trying to convince me and Max to go there, and I found out, oh my God, that's where I was with Mary and Nate, and that's where the eco village was. Because I think it's time to start integrating more into the eco villages and grounding it. Because each eco village is a little oasis in the dark world. It's little oasis bubbles and templates for the new Earth. So I've got to download that the oasis networks them all together like a network of oases, and then each one grows and grows and grows like a light, like a campfires, and then they get bigger. And eventually they encompass the whole world and covers the whole world in light. So it's like a network of oases.
And we've also got more groups on Awaken Dream Synergy who are also doing land oases as well. So one of them is called Planet. So his name is Narit. It starts with an N, but his Planet. He's already got a system partway built. I don't know. So if you guys are into that, you might want to check that, and then how we can integrate with Davis, because we want everything to be fully integrated. And then there's a couple other people as well. And so that's about seeing like what we all have to offer and how we can integrate. And if we've been hearing about how David's like the master weaver of integrating all the systems, and I really think that that's the way to go as well. So
I so agree with that.
Really
yes,
yeah,
all about integration.
They're all separated, and you need to share knowledge and sense make. And that's what Mary and Chris, me and Chris have the same mission of building the tech to support this and to ground it and integrate it and have a real life farm wheel. And me, Nate and Chris were talking about when we were at Mary's eco village in the ranch. We were talking about having a real gamifying life, because my gift is gamification and integration, so integrating all these eco villages and then gamifying them all, and then using virtual reality as training models to it, and then it's a template to then export that template worldwide and to scale up, and then we can export that and build a new Earth. But it starts off localized and then we go global. So that's the plan.
And right there, that little snippet right there, I think whoever's doing your video editing should take that little snippet and at 3 minutes and 30 3 hours and 30 minutes, that's where David's fully explaining it. Let's do it.
I have like my energy's like up and down. I'm like, I'm exhausted, but I'm running on love right now. I'm running on love and mission.
Okay, good.
Like, it's just like, but I can feel I need to pass out pretty soon, because I'm going. I haven't slept a lot before. For this
I'm
demo.
gonna go.
But this is the mission though. Like this is why it's glad we're all connected now. So it's good.
Yeah, and
did you record this call? I missed.
Yeah. So that's thing you could catch up. So I'm going to send the link around. So I'll send everyone the link. So it'll take a while to get through it all, but it's 3 hours.
Okay, you do that and let me know when you're coming. So
yeah, it's good to touch on base again. So it's exciting. I wanted to see you for ages. It's because I had a mission, because I met people in Zipolite, Mizonte, Tulum. I've been on like a little tour of Mexico, and I've networked with those different people. And now I'm gonna meet Onar. She's in Tulum as well.
Yes, I am.
Denise in Tulum. So we're gonna meet up, and I've got to do that, and then I can. My work here is done, and then I think I'm gonna be moving around still. I'm gonna come to Crucecita maybe for a couple of months, and then probably back to here. Who knows? The universe just keeps calling me different places. But I'm staying in Mexico. Definitely staying in Mexico. I'm just gonna be moving around Mexico, I think.
Okay, well, you let me know. I've got some cool stuff happening up at the ranch. This guy, I'm just gonna tell you real quick. This guy who worked with Valerie Hunt on the machine that takes a picture of your biomagnetic field, or in other words, your aura, and it localizes problems in your body and problems in your emotions. And he's moving up. I'm going to rent him my house, and then I might bring the machine and use it at the alternative health clinic that we've got going here. Yeah. So there's a lot being happening here on other fronts.
And I could do that healing. I remember now, because I didn't get that healing for my adrenals. That lady you said about, I want to get that healing.
Oh, she has fixed a lot of people in the last 5 months with all the modalities that she does. The clinic is just booming, and now we're going to bring this auric field thing and incorporate it in there too. And then it's just, there's a lot going on here. And you know what else is happening here since you left? so many young families from Australia, New Zealand, and Canada have moved here. Some interesting people have moved here, because before it was just retirees, but now it's like a bunch of cool people doing interesting things.
Yeah, that's what I heard, because Leah, she was on a call earlier, but she's left now, because she was in Zippoliti with me, and then I left, went to the Loom, and then there was a hurricane there, and now she's relocated to where you are, and now she's saying how amazing it is, and a lot of money there, a lot of people are moving there. She's saying the same thing, and Chris felt the same thing as well, that we're meant to be build a base there. And then we want to create an office there as well. So I know you got an office, so we want to create an office there as well. And then we're going to have the ranch. I think the ranch is about an hour of drive, I think. I remember right.
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the
hurricane
Eco
kind of
Village has
made the road a lot
sorry.
worse.
Yeah, that road, you got to fix that road. But if Nate's driving, it was 45 minutes.
I just meant to say, it's.
So,
There might be.
I think I'm gonna
there
go
might
now.
be a
oh wait, sorry, I'm
three-bedroom-
not. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you soon. Or not? We have to meet up.
Definitely, yes. I would love to meet up soon. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. You're sick. How are you doing? Is something with your health?
I know I'm just knackered. I just need to have sleep, but I think I just need to rest.
I hear you.
And then the next few days I'll be okay again. I just need to recharge a bit.
Yes, yes. I would love to meet. I'm around Holistica at the moment, and then I will be somewhere in the area where I can rent long term.
Yeah, I'm 10 minutes from Holistica. I haven't been there for a while.
And
yeah.
What was the other thing I meant to say? Yes, right. Yeah, one really good friend of mine who's Mexican, he's apparently good friends with the owner of this place, and it's interesting how everything is connected. But what I meant to say is that I think that every eco village model that design that's meant to be replicated, and for which we would have like a course almost, you know, even for the young people who are like getting lost, addicted on the screen, instead of actually just gaming and killing people, they can learn how to build an oasis.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the end, at some point when they've reached a certain stage,
then
I definitely think these eco villages will have offices with like yes, exactly, with like offices as well, with media companies or media circles, like the tech people as well. But the tech people need balance in life. They need to have access to, you know, healthy things, to not, you know, be supported in that, you know, because they're offering so much, but for them to be living in an environment where they can actually also take care of their own temple and actually be inspired on other levels as well. I think that's very relevant.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, so that the office is not just an office, but it's actually part of the oasis already.
That's one of my things as well, was to build not only eco villages, but I call it next gen offices, and basically it's like offices mixed with nature, like Center Park. So you have an office with a river and trees and a river running through your office. So you're working in nature. Imagine like having desk like in the middle of a forest, like with a dome above you so you don't get wet. And it's kind of like mixing it with crystals and organites. It's healing. It's a healing.
Organites and EMF protection and the right plants around it and grounding,
and sacred geometry, and Buckminster is full of domes and circles and spirals and sacred geometry. And this is what I saw in my visions. I want to build these offices, and they'll be linked to the Oasis. These are the Oasis offices, and they're kind of like part of the eco villages. This is all part of my later mission, but the phase 1 was the software. Phase 2 was the actual real architecture. But then like Nate,
but you know, all the homework that we can do, the people that are in, oh sorry dear,
they're not finished.
It's stalling. I don't mean to interrupt you. It's just
I'm
because
done.
There's a delay.
Yeah, I'm finished. You carry on.
No, I love listening to you. So it's just sometimes I realize that there is a delay and then it overlaps. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, definitely first the technical parts, and then at the same time, if there's homework that we can do, the people who are so passionate about the eco village lifestyle, and I so agree, it's all about integrating everybody's vision, because it's ultimately one big vision, and not like competing, but integrating and actually really seeing where we recognize ourselves in each other, and where maybe some ideas really just enhance from another person the vision of another. And I would really love to connect with you, Mary, and with other people that were mentioned before, and see what comes through. And yeah, I will say goodbye to you both. I will go into the sweat lodge right now.
Yeah, it's just
as a little in-between break between another meeting.
Send me the link so I know what you're up to, okay?
Yes, I will connect with you on Telegram, right? Is
Yeah,
that okay?
yeah, I'll connect. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll probably create a group in Telegram from this, like
Yes.
the Our World Aftermath group or something, and everyone
Yes.
who came on this call, I put them in a group so we have a carry on conversations and
This is
connecting.
perfect.
I'll probably be good.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
So
And then yeah,
Wonderful.
I'm gonna catch up with Mary properly as well. I'm just really exhausted now. I'm just so. But I
call
want to
me
talk to
another
you guys,
time. Call me when you're all rested.
yeah, we'll catch up properly. We'll have a one-on-one soon. Yeah, we'll have a proper catch up because yeah, I'm gonna be coming back. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I missed you, and Nate.
Yeah.
And I hope Nate's good and everyone's good there. So it'd be nice to see you all then.
Okay, yeah, you call me. Okay, bye.
Yeah. All right, much love. Thank
So
you guys,
beautiful.
and
Much
yeah,
love.
I'll see you
Bye-bye.
guys
Thank
soon.
you so much for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you, and amen, namaste, and have a good day. Happy solstice.